Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good to see y'all. Good to see you. Texas Brat number one. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Oh, that is beautiful. Summer's Army. Much love to the mods in the chat. Aw, you are so beautiful. Number one, girl. You number one. Amen. And Jersey, number two. Hey PG, great to see you back. Hey girl, God bless. God bless. Good to be back here in the rhythm again, right? In the rhythm. Amen. You are number two. And Janice is number three. Hi PG in chat. Hello, hello, hello to you, sweetie. Hello to you. And Lavender Moon, number four. Hey, everyone, much love. Much love to you. Much love to you, sweetie. God bless. Hey, Pam, I see you. Lake Superior, here you are. Rita, how's everybody doing tonight? Obsessed Mind, how you doing, hon? Drizilla, how you doing? How you doing, sweetie? Mommy of six, Bethan, Canadian Cookie, looking beyond. That girl. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Deputy Sheriff, good to see you. Good to see you in here. Let me see. Mississippi Mud Pie. I like that. Who's been running their filthy sut? Yeah, I want to tell you, a whole lot of people lately, right? Hey, Gracie, how's it going? How's it going, sweetie? I'm moving to the bottom, you guys. Uh, Christina, how you doing? Susan, True Crime Housewife, how you doing? Brenda, Gracie, good to see you guys. Let me go down. Ruby Rainmaker, Miss Kirby, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Patty Ponytail. There's Blue Eyed Dumplings. Sugar Plum, how you doing? I'm getting down through here. Oh, we're at the bottom. Yes, yes. All right. She said, blessings, PG. God bless. All right. A lot going on, so I'm going to get right into it tonight. I'm going to get right into it. The do tell on the street, right? A lot of do tell on the street. It seems like, every time you turn around, right, got a hater at your back. Like knock, 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 right? Um, I don't worry about haters at my back anymore. I don't worry about that. What can they do? What can they do other than, you know, help me out? And they would have to remove some things in order to stick anything else in there, right? It's the only thing they could do is help me. Yeah, at least give me um the relief of between pulling them out and putting them in bed. So I'm like, don't bother me much. Right? Pick a number, stand in line. I don't worry about haters. But right. But we do got some, you know. Um I thought that it was just a few, like Bob up and kissed my backside. And then Jinkies and Chillbilly, they always been haters, you know. They born hating, I think. Not sure, but I think so. And then you got your other ones out there like Miss Chewy, you know. who obviously, can't stay busy with the foot-long turds the Daisy's letting out for. But, it is what it is. But then I heard that, Lisa Kay back to running the Soot. Lisa Kay back to running the Soot. Um, Miss Know It All that don't know nothing, right? Miss Know It All that don't know nothing. You say up, she says down. You say over, she says under. She got some freaking some real issues happening, right? She got some real issues happening. She can't agree with the damn thing. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, the sky. You say the sky's blue. Oh no, it's not. It's yellow or something else, right? No, I think it's blue. I know. I'll look. It's yellow. Uh, I don't know what the hell you're looking at, but must be a painting because I'm looking at the real sky, Lisa. But that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way. Could you imagine seeing her in a psychologist's office? Oh my God. She would definitely get a referral, right? She would get a referral. The psychologist be like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Yeah. And that's after the first 5 minutes, right? It would be, oh, hell no. Yeah, she knows nothing. Absolutely nothing. Um, she didn't know nothing about Rose's case, right? She didn't know nothing about Rose's case. Came out here, act like she knew it all. She didn't know shit. Absolutely nothing. Um, I learned more. I learned more about Rose's case in 5 minutes than she learned in 5 years, I guess. Um, Crazy, right? Crazy. But it is what it is. I guess people, I guess some people have to feel like they know something, you know. That's what I tell them, just because you're trying to strongly act like you know something don't mean you do, right? If you haven't researched it, you haven't looked up on it, you haven't, been there and back, you can't speak upon it, right? I mean, you got to have firsthand knowledge in order to talk on a topic. You at least know what you're talking about. I mean, if I don't know something, I say, I don't know. I mean, hell, I can't know everything, right? Nobody knows everything. Actually, I like not knowing some things, right? Give my brain a rest. But, you know, I guess, you know, they say that the brain can't be overloaded. I beg the difference. I beg the difference because I've had times when I felt like, mine's kind of overloaded, right? It's like nobody talk. So I do think that, I do think that the mind can take in an overload sometimes. Grandis, oh, Grandis, she's, in the city, you know, in the country, you know, in the woods. That's what I heard her saying. Grandis be all over the place, right? She made like a freaking ostrich and went and put her head in the sand somewhere. It's like she ain't even trying to, you know, she ain't even trying to surface. Every time I think of Grandis, that song comes to mind. Under the sea, right? Where nobody can see me. under the sea. That's where Granda's, she'd be hiding. She'd be like big old Ursula hiding. That's what I'd be thinking. If you're going off of PG's brainwaves, which you probably don't want to, that's what I'd be thinking. Hey, Day Day, I just opened a cold one, and it's so good. It's so good. I bet you jelly. I bet you are jelly. No, I didn't say get some jelly and toast. I said I bet you're jelly. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't want you to make a mad dash for that refrigerator. Right? But man, that cold one sure is good. Just wonder no. Right? Just wonder no. While I'm out here. While PG's out here surfacing. I just wanted Day Day know I got me a cold one. And boy, is it good. Yep. I do say. But anyway, yeah. So, I guess got another hater added to the, the basket of rolls. Named Lisa, which she always been a hater anyway, right? She's been a hater. Always. Oh man, Pam, I made spaghetti and meat sauce the other night. Oh God, it was good. It was really, really freaking good. I made egg salad yesterday. It was the bomb. It was the bomb. And and I think it was the day before that. I made chili dogs with homemade coleslaw. Oh man, best coleslaw you ever tasted. It's so good. Yeah, that's my mommy's recipe. I love that coleslaw. I love it. Um, my mama used to make the best coleslaw ever. So yeah, I tell you, I love freaking chili dogs with coleslaw and baked beans. Big old pan of baked beans. That's good eating right there. Good eating. Yeah. Tonight I had a great big giant hamburger, and man, it was good too. Not as good as the chili dogs, but I mean, I'm not hungry. I guess I can say that, right? I'm not. I thought about pizza. I thought about pizza too, and I was like, nah. I don't think so. I'm starting to despise pizza. I think I've ate too much of it. I've been gonna make a big old beef stew. I've been wanting to make a great big beef stew. I love beef stew. Absolutely. But I just ain't been able to find the time, put it all together. Beef stew takes a while, right? It takes a while. You have to put a lot into that. You got to cut everything up and you got to do it just right, right? You got to keep an eye on it, and you got to make sure it's seasoned up good, and a lot of work to beef stew. So at least it is for me. At least it is for me. I just ain't found the time yet, but I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Oh yeah, beef stew and cornbread. Amen. That is good eating. That's good eating right there. Absolutely. I know. I put eggs in my. I put boiled eggs in my macaroni salad. I put boiled eggs in my potato salad, but I don't. I don't know my coleslaw. Absolutely not. My coleslaw. I put tomatoes, right? Um, Sometimes a little green pepper, right? Um, Mangoes. I think that's what you guys would know it by. Mangoes. But yeah, um, sometimes I might throw a little bit of green onions. If the garden's right, ripe up, and got some green onions. I'll pull a few, but um, most of the time, it's not the key to good coleslaw isn't really what you put in it. The key to good coleslaw is grating up the cabbage, right? It's grating the cabbage up real fine. You got to put the work into it. Um, you got to grade. You got to grade your cabbage real fine, and you know that's the key right there. Is to make sure the cabbage is real fine because it holds all the flavor better. That's the key to good coleslaw, especially if you're gonna be putting them on hot dogs. Um, and to use a good mayonnaise. I don't like Miracle Whip. I don't like Miracle Whip in my coleslaw. I like regular mayo, right? And then cut up a big tomato real fine, put it in there. Make sure you add a good quality quantity of salt. Um, you want to make sure you salt it pretty good because that's what really brings out the flavor in coleslaw. So just saying. So it ain't really everything else you add to it. It's to put the work into making that sure that cabbage is grated up real fine. Makes the best. I can't stand that coleslaw out of a bag. You buy the coleslaw in a bag. Oh hell no. That's it's fast, but it don't taste good. It's not like homemade. I don't care for a lot of people use Miracle Whip in the place of mayonnaise because Miracle Whip's got a little bit of a tangy taste. Um, no, I mean I do like Miracle Whip on some things, right? I like Miracle Whip on some things, but not in my macaroni salad or my potato salad or my coleslaw. No, I use real mayo because that's the slam right there. That's the slam. I'm gonna tell you, I have no problem cooking. I love to cook. I just don't love. I don't love washing up the dishes and cleaning. I don't like cleaning the kitchen afterwards. Because trust me, PG can make a hell of a mess in the kitchen, and I gotta clean that up. So then I can't stand to look at the mess. So I have to clean it, right? So I could be in the kitchen for like ever. Oh yeah, yeah. Um, the brand of mayonnaise makes a difference too, right? The brand of mayonnaise makes a big difference. That's for sure. I mean, I've got some mayonnaise that, whoa, I don't know where it came from. Like, what the hell was that? Right? What the hell is that? With the lead on it. You're trying to scrape it up, what you didn't mix up. Once you taste it, put it back in a jar, put the lid on, like that shit's got to go back. Um, I don't even want to. I don't even want to keep it. I gotta complain about this. So, should be some things I think should be against the law to sell. To be honest, I've tasted some food, man. It's like, whoa, they expect you to eat that. Somebody actually thought that was good. It's like, oh hell no. Um, no, no. I don't use Duke's mayonnaise. Um, no, not at all. Not at all. I've seen it, but I don't use it. Oh man, I gotta cook, right? I gotta I gotta get up in the morning and um either make freaking waffles or pancakes or I gotta cook. Gotta make something all the time. That's for sure. What's up, girl? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, I gotta turn the TV down.
Yeah, you sure do. I could hear it.
Yeah, I'm Betty Crocker. I come in a box or a bag.
I heard that.
All that home cooking, man, that sounds too long for me.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, girl. Um,
Hey, I get that on special days when I go special places.
I'm gonna tell you something. The quickest thing, I promise, like one of the quickest things that's really, really super good
Deviled eggs.
is is um is cobbler, like peach cobbler. You can make peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler, all kinds of different cobblers. But all you do is, and I don't like make up the batter like some people make up batter to, or they'll use like pie crust, um, to make their cobbler. Man, not me. No,
I'm like, I'm like, Nancy Brown just said I can eat potato skins in the morning.
I I basically, to make my cobblers, um, I just dump a couple of cans of peaches or blueberries. Um, now if you're using fresh blueberries, then you're going to have to cook them up with sugar and everything. You're going to have to put them in a pot, and you're going to have to cook them up, for your cobbler because you want them to be sweet. Um, if you're using canned blueberries, then just dump them. You can just just dump it if you're using the pie filling. But um, I I just dump the peaches in the pan, right, and pour pour the cake mix pour the cake mix on top, and then put butter over top of it and throw it in the oven. Oh my god, it is like the best cobbler ever. Get it out, put a big scoop of ice cream on top. That's good eating right there. That is good. Or pour you know um, cream over top of it. If you don't like ice cream, just put some cream on it. Um, it's really good. Really,
I think
really
about
good.
it, my back won't let me, but that's okay.
Hey,
Long
it's
as I got
fast.
my oven and my microwave or a toaster oven, hey, I'm
Hmm.
good. My potato skins will get good.
Amen.
Or my bologna sandwich, remember? That's what I
Yeah.
came in here with, bologna sandwiches.
I'm gonna tell you something. I make my own. I make my own. You know the secret to good potato skins is you have to wash the potatoes real good, wash them, and oil the skin. You actually oil the skin, oil it, salt them, you know, and it makes the best potato skins, the best. And you just bake them. You can add your own cheese, your own bacon, you know. Um, and you can, if you don't feel like frying bacon, you can always, throw the bacon in a pan and make it in the oven, crumble it up, crumble it up on your potato skins. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I love them way. I like to cook at home. I like to make. I like to cook my own food. Um, because then I know what's going into it, and it's all real, right? It's real potatoes, real cheese, real bacon. Um, I like to make my own food.
Or give me some better cheddars and I'll put them in some biscuits.
I wish I liked to eat. I wish I liked to eat as much as I like to cook. You know, by the time my problem is by the time I'm done cooking, I'm not hungry, right? I'm not hungry. Um,
And you know
and I,
what's the best about chili though? It's always better to fix it the one day because the next day,
hey
that's the
girl,
best. That's the
I
best.
do. I do not do leftovers. I do not do leftovers. If I make chili tonight and we have chili, that's it. It's done. Um, it's a one and done. I just can't. No, I can't eat something twice. I don't know why, but I mean, like if I make a big macaroni salad or potato salad or make up a big coleslaw, yeah, I might have some of that the next day. I might keep half back and for the next day. But when it comes to like spaghetti, chili, stuff like that, oh hell no. I can't do it. I don't know why, but I can't do it.
Yeah, but by the time all the flavor sits in that chili, don't eat it the first day. Eat it the second day. It's better.
I tell you what's good though is cold pizza. Now
Uh,
I have um
uh,
I have thrown pizza in the refrigerator, and man, I'm gonna tell you what, I eat it the next day. Hell yeah, cold pizza is good.
give
Ain't
me
no wrong with cold
give me
pizza.
some potato skins and a daily double. I'm good to go.
What the hell's a daily double?
It's from McDonald's. It's a daily double. It's got your lettuce, your onion, your cheese, and all the good stuff on it, and then you eat it.
Oh
That's from
wow,
McDonald's.
yeah,
Now they got the double Big Macs now.
girl. My broke ass can't afford no McDonald's. You kidding me? When I go to McDonald's, I gotta take four other people with me. I ain't doing no McDonald's. I ain't doing do no McDonald's.
Hey, I
Man,
do old McDonald and I do me some bologna. I do me some. Oh, have you had them pigs in a blanket?
oh yeah, I make those sometimes. Yeah.
Well, people don't call them pigs in a blanket. I don't know what some people call them, but I call them pigs in a blanket. But yeah, them pigs in a blanket, potato skins.
I love mashed potatoes, but I can't stand any potato warmed up. I have to agree with you, Miss Kirby. Mashed potatoes is something when you whip them up, they're like a one and done too, unless you're going to turn them into potato cakes. Now, sometimes I would keep back. um, the cold potatoes, um, and then turn them into potato cakes, right? Fry them up, and they're really good. Potato cakes are super good, and you have to have the cold mashed potatoes to actually whip up potato cakes. But man, that's the only way I could do them. I could do you know mashed potatoes twice. Is you got to turn the cold ones into potato cakes, which is the bomb. They're good.
Potato soup.
I fry potatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, if I fry potatoes, I have to fry a lot of them. My kids they love fried potatoes. So when I fry potatoes, it's like I have to have a big skillet full of them because they go quick. I promise you. Um, once my kids get what they want, it's like I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about my freaking eating disorders, right? Because they ain't none left to worry about. I'm like, okay. But yeah, fried potatoes don't last. They don't last long in my house. That's for sure.
Well, if I have, well, the only thing that I can't let go bad in my house is my oven and my microwave or my toaster oven. None of that can go anywhere.
My kids like baked potatoes. They like smashed potatoes. The whipped up smashed potatoes, and they love fried potatoes. Potato cakes, nah, they're maybe one or two might you know have a potato cake, but for the most part, no, no, they don't. You know, I make potato cakes usually it's just for me. So
Dumpling says shrimp. It's like, nah. Crab claws, nah. I'm not a seafood person, but I'll seafood and I'll eat it, maybe, if I'm not asleep.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't eat anything that packs his house around with it. I don't eat no lobster. I don't eat shrimp.
Uh,
I do not eat seafood. I do not eat seafood. Um,
yeah, I'm not a.
the farthest I go with seafood is maybe a fish sandwich here or there, and that's it. Um, I don't really, I don't care for seafood. To be honest, I like chicken. I make a lot of like chicken and dumplings. I make fried chicken, stuff like that. Um, I don't, and beef. I make a lot of like beef and stuff. Um, the beef cheese kebabs and stuff like that. But I don't, I don't get into seafood at all. Um, I make pork chops. I fry up pork chops and things like that. Baked pork chops. Um, but
I'm not a seafood person.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, you guys gonna have me in the refrigerator after this live, so I'm going. Yeah, I better get off the topic of food, right? I gotta get off the topic of food, and get onto this case. I gotta get onto this case. As I said, there's a lot of inconsistencies in this case, with Summer, right? There's a lot of things, a lot of like with Hunter being back out here lately talking on Andrews and so forth, now we're getting different time frame where, he's like, I don't know how I got out of the vehicle. I'm not sure. I think we may have figured out where Hunter was actually sitting. The question is why? That's my question, is why. He was sitting in the middle after the swimming hole. I'm asking myself why. But I think I may have figured that out as well. So that's what we're going to go over tonight. We're going to go over, what went down at the swimming hole. And how Hunter was able to get out of the vehicle. So let's get to that.
So where are you sitting in the car?
At first, I was sitting on the front seat.
Okay.
Like,
which way's the car pointing?
Like,
do you remember?
Now remember, he said on the way to pick up Grandis from the emergency room, on the way to pick up Grandma from the emergency room, he was riding shotgun, right? He was riding up front passenger seat with Candace. And the only one in the back was Summer, right? Was Summer.
Right now?
Just like my truck?
Yes.
Okay.
It was dead serious like that, but with like an overhead to the bed.
Okay.
Bed part.
Okay.
And we moved a box to the back.
Okay.
And then.
Okay. Now, in order for him to get in the back seat with Summer, they moved one box completely out of the vehicle to the main back of the vehicle, right? They moved one box out of the back seat to the main back. Then they stacked up the other boxes against the passenger side door in the back. The back seat passenger side door was blocked off by the extra boxes in order for Hunter to be able to get in the vehicle at that particular time. So this all went down. This all went down and took place at the emergency room, right? At the emergency room. So Grandis could have the front seat and Hunter would be able to get into the back of the vehicle. So Grandis would be able to ride up front now, passenger seat with Candace.
We moved the box to the very back, the first one where the overhead to the bed is, and then we put another one back behind, like that passenger seat right there.
Okay. Okay. And where's Summer?
Summer, she is on the driver's side, in the back seat. Okay.
Was there any milk or anything like that in the car at that time?
Not until we got the price list, which was like I think it was a few hours later.
Okay, got it. Okay. Was there any other stuff in the car?
Nah, there was just boxes and like TVs in the back and everything.
How was Summer acting about going fishing?
Well, she gets excited because she likes to fish and swim. She's a little kid. She's energetic.
Okay. Come in.
The milk. Oh, when they had to put everything in the bed of the truck. You know, like the back of the truck. Mm-hmm. I call it a truck bed because it is a truck bed.
Okay. But there's a picture of Summer.
Yes, Grandis going to the ER. Grandis rode in the passenger seat up front in the passenger seat with Candace. Summer was in the back seat with a bunch of boxes that they had to end up moving so Hunter could get in the back seat as well. And Grandis could reassume her place in the front seat with Candace when she got out of the ER?
Leaning against the milk bottles.
Yeah, they put them there. Well, I think I put them there in the middle because there's no room on the other side of me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I put them there because she was sitting by the window, and then
Was she sleeping?
no, she wasn't even sleeping at the time.
Okay.
I just set them in the middle because if they were to fall and spill, it would be on me, and I don't feel like cleaning up no truck mess.
Okay. It looks like she's against the door though, in that picture.
I wasn't there when that picture was took.
Oh, okay. When did they take that picture? Do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
believe the one with the milk jugs was sitting right here in front of my house, because that's exactly how that baby was before they left.
Okay. Well, when you were in the car, where'd they put the milk?
Well, they gave it to me.
They gave it to you.
Not
And-
like not to keep, but to
No,
like
to put it away.
yeah.
And where did you put it?
I had it sitting on my lap until we got out the car.
Got it. And out here?
Yeah, out here.
Okay.
And
And
she pulled up like your truck now, like where it's at right now.
right.
But the opposite around.
Got it. So it's facing that way.
Yeah.
And you're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even get out the car or did I?
Now, take note that he said to Allie, did she even get out of the car or did I? Did she even get out of the car or did I? He said. Right? That's what he said. Did she get out of the car or did I? He also at one point said she was against the door. She was against the door. Well, she couldn't be against the door on the passenger side because the boxes were against the door. So she had to be against the door on the driver's side, against the
Would
door.
have to get out before he got out.
Not necessarily, and I'm going to show that.
I thought she got out the car too. I don't remember that.
Okay. At some point, how did the milk bottles get on the other side of her? Do you know?
I have no idea then because she said that she was sleeping on the door. But when I got out the car, she wasn't even at the.
See? She was sleeping on the door. She was sleeping on the door. The only door available to sleep on was behind Candace on the driver's side because the other door is blocked by these boxes.
door. She was in the middle.
Was she sleeping on you?
Nah.
Was she asleep?
I didn't even see her asleep. I just got out the car because she wanted to talk to her
Okay. Got it.
about that thing for that Friday, the water park.
Got it. But where's Summer?
Now, if you took note, Hunter at that point right here, he's trying to avoid the topic. Matter of fact, he's trying to change the subject, with an I don't know. She wanted to talk to Allie about the water park. He's trying to take the focus off of what was going on inside the vehicle and put it on something else to grab Chris's attention to avoid talking about this particular topic any longer. That's what he did, which I find suspicious.
She was still in the middle. I wasn't really paying attention to her, to be honest.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I just wanted to go inside. Or just wanted my girl to come over for a little bit. That's
Sure.
the whole point.
He said I didn't see her asleep, but then earlier he says she was sleeping on the door, right? She was sleeping on the door. So he obviously saw her. She was on that door, not coherent, right?
Is Summer hurt by this point, you think?
I don't
From the
think
water?
so. I mean, she could have been. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to her.
No, I get that.
I wasn't really paying attention to her, I really wasn't paying attention to her. I'm going to tell you, when there's a child in the back seat with you, you pay attention. When there's a child in the back seat with you, you're paying attention
He's
to that
he's
child.
he's walking across the question, but when Allie says Allie said she walked to the truck, which we don't know if that happened, but she walked to the truck and Summer was asleep. But Hunter doesn't know if she was asleep or awake. I
Exactly.
think Hunter's kind of. And then now you're at the water hole. Did something happen there? And you got to think how many beer, twisted teas did Hunter have? Now, he could have had too many, whatever. I mean, more than one. It had, for him not to pay attention.
Hunter, here's the thing. With the way Hunter's talking to Chris, Hunter you don't understand. Hunter didn't want to talk about what was inside this vehicle, going on in this
Exactly.
vehicle. He was
Exactly.
just trying to, any way he possibly can to avoid, giving blunt answers the way that it should have been. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
What are they running by for?
Who's that?
Ashley and them.
Somebody else, yeah. So, then what happens when you get out of the car?
When I get out the car. When I get out the car, I go to the front because she had to hand me that other vape that she gave me.
Got it.
And then I showed Mom at that door,
Okay.
and that was it.
Okay. And this is when you saw Summer in the back. How did the milk get rearranged?
I have no idea.
See?
I mean, I could have said I'm there when I got out the car.
That's fine.
But I'm telling you now, I really don't remember anything but talking to her.
Got it.
At that point.
No problem. What do you think, Miss Allison? How's that milk get rearranged?
I don't know. That milk was there when they pulled up like that.
Okay, but Hunter had the milk in the middle.
In the middle.
And so now the milk's on the other side of Summer. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't either, and that's why I'm asking.
I don't even remember how I got out the car. That's the funny part.
That's fine.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I think we all remember, Hunter is no stranger. Hunter is no stranger to the twisted tea. He's no stranger to, a cold one, maybe a couple cold ones. This is a guy that is no stranger, to some goody good. He's no stranger to these kind of things. I mean, he's already, he wouldn't have asked for a twisted tea had he not already been introduced and drank before this. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think we can go back, right, because I know for myself, I can't speak for everyone, because some people didn't get into that kind of lifestyle, right? A lot of people were on the straight and narrow. I just happen to not be. So I can go back, and I know a lot of people in here can go back as well. Not all of us were goody two-shoes. Some might have been. Some people are, but for myself, I wasn't. and I got a good idea. A whole lot of people in this chat wasn't as well. And I can remember, you know, my teenage days when, when, you know, I remember my first times, drinking, right? Drinking. I remember my first few cold ones, right? And I remember, my first time, you know, um, trying out the goody good, right? I mean, I think we all do, and and I can tell you now, um,
Now I have a question. Is this before Andrew, okay? Before Andrew told Hunter, well, if you don't want to talk about it, just lie about it.
I don't think so. I think this is Chris got in there pretty quickly, but
Because
here's
Andrew said,
here's where I'm going with it, Pam. We all know. Well, not everybody. I can't say we all, because I know you have told me that you haven't ever had any type of alcohol beverages in your life.
no.
But for a whole lot of us, we did, and we did as teenagers. Now, for me, I remember because I'm going to tell you why. I was 15 years old. I was 15, um, and you know, I met up with other teenagers, and they had some cold ones. And yes, we did partake. We did partake. Me and my girlfriend. Um, we we joined in with that, and I remember, you know, my dad come looking for us, and I was thinking, oh shit, right? Oh shit, this ain't going to be good. Sure, he's going to smell, you know, this stuff on me. Um, my girlfriend hightailed it in a different direction, right? It's like, um, see you later, right? There was no way in hell she was going to get near any parent because she wasn't smelling so good either. And I remember walking past another one of my girlfriends who was chewing some bubble gum, and I asked her, did she have any more? And she said no. As my dad was waiting, I passed up another one of my girlfriends. I said, do you got any gum? And she said no. I said, give me the one out of your mouth, right? Because I ain't getting my ass beat. And so I took the gum straight up out of her mouth and put it in mine and chewed on it. Believe it or not, this is a true story. I chewed this chick's gum. I did not give a damn because my dad was standing. I could see him, and I'm going to have to go up to him. So I put that gum in my mouth and I chewed on it. And luckily, I was able to keep enough distance that, that I made it, home with him and into the house and able to, you know, brush my teeth, goggle, and try to shake some of that whatever off before having to face up with my parents. But I'm going to tell you, I remember every damn thing. I remember my bestest friend being like, I was like, yeah, I see how you got my back, right? Bitch, get on out of here. But,
Okay, PT.
it is what it is, That's when you learn. That's when you learn who's going to stick with you and who ain't, in your time of need. And
Okay, let me ask you. We've asked this question before. If Okay, and I'm not saying Chris did anything wrong. I'm not saying this bad about Chris. If Chris would have done all of these interviews at first, not live them, because
Right.
we know Candace and Don watches, would we have been closer today than we are right now? I mean, because nobody would have been watching them, so nobody could change stories. If you know what I mean. I mean, we're sitting here at the beginning and we're going, okay, this happened and this happened. But if he would have not lived them and so everybody can see it and just did the interviews and then put them out one by one, would that have made any difference?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, because he's talking to different people on different topics. Matter of fact, if he wouldn't have put that one out, he wouldn't have gotten an interview with Candace. The only reason Candace went to Chris M is because the fact he played out Allie. And Candace wanted to tell her side. So see, that's what motivated, Chris to be able to get the one with Candace and be able to get into the house and then be able to get one with Donald as well. It's a chain reaction. That's how you got to play it if you want it. You can't do it your way, because then, then the other person ain't going to connect to the chain, right?
Well, I was figuring, I could do all the interviews, even if they, was different.
But they wouldn't have done one. They wouldn't have done one. What I'm saying is, it was Allie's and Hunter's interview that initiated Candace to do an interview. If Chris would have kept that secret, then Candace wouldn't have got initiated, and he wouldn't have got a interview with Candace, because Don and Candace was saying no, 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 until he got Allie and Hunter. See, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's a chain reaction. You have to do that. You have to intimidate people with someone else in order to get them to jump on board as well. It's how it works.
Yeah.
Trust me, brilliant minds know what they're doing when they're doing these things. Chris is brilliant. Trust me, he's brilliant. He's been in there for a while. He knows what he's doing.
Well, then how? Okay, I'm not even gonna go there.
That's
I
fine.
thought I was totally sitting in the middle the entire time, but I guess not.
Now, did Candace then, let's fast forward. We'll come back to that later.
Okay, that's what Hunter was all over the place with it, mostly trying to avoid it, where Summer was, how Summer was, what Summer was doing. He mostly tried to avoid it. We're going to listen to Allie.
For you that day. Walk me through what you remember.
I remember her showing up that morning.
And what time was that?
About 10, between 10 and 10:30.
All right.
She asked if Hunter could go fishing with her in Summer because her mother was in the emergency room because of her knee.
Okay.
Because I guess a couple weeks back, they took her a trip to Gatlinburg and the boys were kicking the grandmother in the knee.
Oh my.
She didn't have the boys with them that day.
She didn't have any of the boys.
So it was just Summer and Candace. And Grandma.
Yep.
Was Grandma in the truck as well? Or in the vehicle?
Not when they first picked Hunter up, no.
Okay. So she comes
She was
over.
at the hospital.
Okay, so she comes over. What vehicle is she driving?
She was driving her mom's Silverado.
Okay, that's what I remember you saying. That's why I said truck. Okay, so she pulls up, and does she stop where? Right out front.
Between the pole and my mailbox
Okay.
to pick Hunter up.
All right.
She came in, she goes, "Can Hunter go fishing with me for a little while?" I said, "Sure."
Did she text you before?
Nope,
She just showed up.
Now, that's truth that That's truth. That Candace showed up at the house, but what Allie didn't realize was that Candace had already texted Hunter about Grandis being in the hospital. Then Hunter decided to call her. Hunter invited her over. When and he found out they were going to go fishing or swimming or something with Summer. So he asked, he wanted to go too. He asked his mother if he could go. She said yes, gave him the okay, and he went out the door. Allie was in bed at this particular time. Allie was in bed. She hadn't even got up yet. So when they left, Allie was still in bed and not really knowing or seeing anything that was going on that particular day, inside her house nor outside her house, right? She wasn't seeing nothing. Um, so what transpired before they pulled back up to let Hunter out? Allie has no idea what transpired during any of that time, even while they were at her own home. She has no idea.
How did that strike you?
She was always trying to show up and talk to me. She was the first, when me and her stopped talking, she was stopping by my mom's, talking to the kids, talking to my mom, unexpectedly, And, I didn't think anything of it at that time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Hunter can go fishing. He loves Summer to death. That's like his little sister.
Their budge.
Yep.
PG, do you think it's possible Summer was sold through illegal adoption? No. No, I don't think so. No. For one, Summer wasn't young enough. She wasn't young enough for that, at all. And the kind of humans that the Wells associate themselves with, trust me, they're not into adoption. They're into something really more sinister. So no, absolutely not. I know illegal adoptions take place, and usually it is with younger children. That's what people want. Illegal adoptions usually happen with newborns. I say from birth to 3. Once a child hits 3, they got memory. They've got memory, and people don't want to take that risk. They don't want to take that risk. And with DNA today, with all this DNA, illegal adoption is even less of an issue, because people don't want to take the risk anymore. What I'm saying is, the kid gets up 16, 17 years old, decides to do a DNA, and finds out that they got family somewhere else matching up. Then this is a problem. This is now a problem for this family. And nobody needs it or wants to be, put in prison. So, that kind of stuff is like a real thing of the past, since you've got all this DNA going on now. It's almost unheard of anyway.
She's like a daughter to me.
Remember when it was said that Hunter had to sit on a towel, but there's no towel mentioned. They said because grandma was picky about her truck, and if he was wet in the water, wouldn't he be wet?
To be honest, no. To be honest, no. He didn't go in that far. He didn't go. I seen the video. He didn't go in that far. There's some things here, like I said, not making sense, and that's what we're going to be calling out tonight.
And I didn't hear from him for a while. She dropped Hunter off between 2 and 2:30, right where your truck is.
Okay.
But her front end was facing the telephone pole.
So she's going this direction?
Yes.
Okay.
When she dropped Hunter off, it was her mom, Hunter, and Summer. And Summer was leaning against 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. You know, I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Hunter was on the driver's side, and Summer was right there next, right there in the middle.
Okay, so it made sense if she's pulling this way that Hunter's going to get out
Yes.
on this side. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle.
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like-
Against the milk. Gallons of milk.
Against the 2 gallons of milk.
But
Now-
I said he was in the middle.
Now, the thing is, she says when she got out, that's exactly the way Summer was, right then and there. Now, to be honest, I believe her. I believe her. I believe her in both aspects. You're going to see tonight that Allie changed her story to 2 different things. I believe her in both aspects that she was talking about. Allie was at the vehicle. I believe Allie was at the vehicle before Hunter ever got out. I think Allie actually got to the vehicle before Hunter got out of it. If you ask me, that is
And
just
Hunter states I was in the middle, and he doesn't remember.
that is just my opinion. I think Allie knew exactly where Hunter was sitting. I think Allie knew that Summer was against the door, not coherent, not awake. When they pulled up, I believe Hunter was in the middle. Here's what I believe. When they picked Grandma up from the emergency room, they moved the boxes around. Summer was in the middle, awake, just like she is now. Awake at that time. At that particular time, I believe Summer was awake when they picked Grandma at the ER. I believe she was in the middle, awake. What happened is they moved the boxes around. They moved all the boxes around. Summer was sitting in the middle, and Hunter got in, and he was sitting behind Candace on the driver's side behind Candace when they went to Walgreens the first time. When they went to Walgreens the first time, Hunter was behind Candace. When the phone call came in from Donald, Hunter was behind Candace. When they went to Warriors Park, Hunter was still behind Candace. He was the first one to get out of the vehicle and run off. And then Summer got out because There was no way to get out the other door. Let us remember the door on the passenger side was blocked by them boxes. The only way for Summer to come out was through the back door behind Candace. Summer got out, and Candace and her went down to the swimming hole while Grandma was in the vehicle putting money on her phone card, right? She was using a phone card to put money on her phone. I believe at that point, Grandis stayed in the vehicle, and Summer and Candace headed down to the fishing hole, the horse pond, and Hunter ran off, supposedly, for a little bit. I think he might have ran off to drink his twisted tea, possibly text his girlfriend, maybe had to use the restroom, whatever. Then he resurfaces down at the swimming hole. I ain't sure if Grandis ever got out of the vehicle or not, because there is no sign of Grandis in the video that was taken down by the swimming hole that day. No sign of Grandis, which leads me to believe Grandma stayed in the vehicle. I don't think she even got out to go down there. And that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag as well, that Grandis didn't get out of the vehicle. As if she knew what was going to go down. Possibly, allegedly. I don't know. But anyway, you're going to hear Allie. I'm going to let you finish listening to Allie.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. I said, isn't she hot? So I wish I could wake her up and, give her a hug. No, you can't. And the windows were up.
What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her. Now,
The windows were up in the back. She's laying back there. Allie is suspecting something ain't right. Allie is already at this truck. She's suspecting there's something ain't right already. That's what I'm getting out of all of this. That's what I'm getting. And when you listen to this, listen to Grandma in the background as well, because this is a telltale signs.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
Wait a minute, when they went into the store,
Yep, because Hunter has the timeline of where they went and what they did. And
do you see how hard it is for Allie to talk about this? Do you see how hard? I mean, she's like, it's bothering her. It's bothering her. It's getting to her. Listen to it. I'm going to go back a little bit so you can listen to the strain in her voice.
And what they did. And they had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
Okay. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer.
Yep.
What happens?
She said no. I wasn't allowed to wake her up.
Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay.
Now catch this. She says, now that I look back on it, I really don't know. You could hear the strain in her voice as if, my God, as if she could be possibly know something is giving her, she really wants to say something totally different, but she feels she can't. And you could tell it's weighing on her with the strain in her voice. That's what we got. And now she says, you know, she's starting to say, you know, things wasn't looking right. I did suspect some things, you know, but once Chris mentions Hunter, her son. Now listen to when he mentions her son, then her demeanor changes now. And that leads me to believe that it's possible, allegedly, she could be trying to protect Hunter.
Fair enough.
And it just kills me. Because, you know, now that I look back on it, it's like, was she really alive? Was she sleeping?
What's your gut as a mom? I mean, with Hunter coming in and saying, "Mom, we were watching TikTok video."
Now, see, that's where Chris made his mistake. That's where he made a mistake. He should not have brought up Hunter. He shouldn't have brought up Hunter. He should have said, now that you look back on it, what do you think? And not have mentioned her son. Because when you mention her son, a mother feels, oh God, I need to protect my son. That's true. And now you'll see her switch up. She's going to switch up. Watch this.
I mean, for her to hurt her between the TikTok video stop and home here with Hunter in the car, that would have been kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I believe she was alive here.
Okay.
Now she believes she was alive. I mean, she just said that she don't know if, you know, she's been asking herself, was she alive or not alive? And then as soon as Chris brings her son into it, bam. Oh, she's definitely alive now, right? Definitely alive.
Yeah.
That shows that Allie is going to protect her son regardless. This woman's going to protect her son, which I can't say. I cannot say I blame her. I cannot say I blame her. You know, he's 15 years old. He's 15. You know, he's just been took around the block by two evil bitches, right? Candace and Grandis. And you know, he's just been took around the block by these two bitches.
And now I feel like
that are pure evil. You know, do you really want, even if they're going to go to prison, do you really want your son going to prison for something they may have allegedly may have put him up to do, which was sinister?
But
you know, no, you don't.
When she switches back and says, oh, well, she was alive, but when she switches back, then it's like, okay, now I've got to go in, and now it's, after all of that, then she got to coach him on what to say to anyone else.
I don't know. I just know what she's saying right now. Yeah. And she changed that story up in a big damn hurry. And the way, between the way he's acting and the way she's acting, it's got me suspicious of what went down that day. So
he said, I don't know at that moment, I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, like you said, because he says, what's your gut feeling? And she said, you know, what she did. And then all of a sudden, like you said, they bring up Hunter, and it's like a whole different, it wasn't a nervous one. It was like, yeah, she was awake. Then why didn't she talk to you and say hi when you're standing there talking to talking to Candace? You're standing at Candace's door. Okay. While she's standing at the door, Summer ought to be saying something.
Exactly. Exactly. But she said Summer was asleep. Allie said Summer was asleep. Allie did not say the Summer was awake. And I'm sure that if Summer was awake, she'd have been up there all in Allie's face. No doubt.
Exactly.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where would you put her being alive?
10.
And where would Hunter?
She wasn't putting it at a 10. She wasn't putting it at a 10 before Chris mentioned her son.
Put her?
Out of 10.
Okay.
Because he sat here and he said where exactly what they were doing. She was giggling, watching TikToks and everything. And he said she fell asleep because she was tired. And that was right before they pulled up. So.
And then what happened?
They left here around 2:30.
How long were they here?
About 5-10 minutes.
Did she get out of the truck?
Nope.
Stayed in the truck?
They had to go right away. They wouldn't.
Now, do you hear Grandma? Let's go back. Let's go back here. Listen to Grandma.
Stayed in the truck?
They had to go right away. They wouldn't.
They were parked out there for about.
And Allie wasn't wanting Grandma to say that. Grandma said they had to go right away. They had to go right away. You see? Grandma. And then Allie's like, be quiet, right? Be quiet. This is your grandson.
5 minutes because I was talking to them.
I know, but when you started to ask them,
Yeah, I said, well, you want to come up on the porch and,
Hang out.
yeah, like.
And thank you for the invitation, by the way, to come up on your porch. It's very kind.
Because I wanted to hear how the fishing trip went and everything. That's when I found out that they went swimming instead of fishing.
Okay. She told you they went swimming.
Yep.
And where'd she tell you they went?
At the Warriors.
Grandma said staple. Did you hear? She said staple. And then Allie's like at the horse. Allie was caught up on where they went. She was like, she was caught up. She was caught up. She didn't know the answer to that. Grandma gave it to Allie. So, but the old grandma, she's like, they booked it the hell out of here in a hurry. So something wasn't right? Something wasn't right there. Then we're going to listen to Allie again. Did Candace leave the kids alone a lot? Did Candace ever leave the kids alone, Allie, do you know of?
A lot of times when she came down to the city, there was only her, Grandis, and Summer.
Allie, what'd you think about the video in the truck?
Which one?
The one where Candace asked, is her arm up? And Grandis
That
says,
was creepy. And a lot of people were saying that was me in the truck. No, it was not.
no, it wasn't. It was definitely
No, a lot of people were saying it was Leslie too.
No, hell no. Leslie don't even like the bitch.
So
Leslie couldn't stand her.
Candace said that she had her take the picture because Summer was sleeping in a position that Dawn would sleep in, so she was going to have her mom turn over and take a cutesy picture of it. That doesn't sound like Candace, at least to me.
Hey, Allie, is Candace, Grandis, and Summer leaving your place the last known site they were seen at before Summer came up missing?
For me, it is.
Oh, before I forget this, your neighbor that Fred Garden talked to said,
And she said that Grandis took the pictures at the cabin. It was Grandis. Where was those cabins at, Allie?
Let's see. Laurel Run Park.
It was Laurel Run Park, and Grandis was the one taking the pictures. Now, that's the pictures that where Summer is in the two-piece bathing suit, and Grandis, they're sitting in the doorway of the cabin, There was all the kids there, Allie and all of her kids, Summer and the Wells boys and Grandis and Candace. That was where that was at Laurel Run where they found Cotton. Where they found Cotton. That's where they were when those pictures were taken. When Grandis was in the pictures, who was taking them?
We asked a couple that was passing by us because we hiked up to the waterfalls.
Okay. They hiked up the waterfalls and they asked someone else to take a picture of them.
I've seen those videos, and there's a video of Summer going up the waterfall, and she almost slips, and Candace doesn't tell her anything. She doesn't say, like, be careful, Summer. Summer, don't do that. And it's so weird to me that as a mom...
No, and Candace was on top of the waterfall at one time, too.
Annabelle, she answered that question. She said she went all the way to the truck. She saw Summer in there. She wanted to give her a hug. It was hot. The windows were up. She asked to give her a hug, and they said no because she was asleep and didn't want her to be woken up. So Allie did not get to give her a hug. So,
So that lady that, your neighbor that you said before that Prayer Garden talked to, she said that you never even got up to go out to the truck when they pulled up.
See, I don't know that neighbor. See, I know the one that she was talking to, that rebel girl. I know her.
Yes, that's her.
All right. Well, I don't know why she would say that, because she's not my neighbor over where I live. We haven't been neighbors in almost 5 years.
Right. But she likes you, and I haven't ever heard her say, I haven't ever heard Rebel Girl say that Allie didn't go to the truck. I did not ever hear Rebel Girl say that.
There is someone out here, and I haven't pinpointed.
There is someone saying it, but it was not Rebel Girl to me.
Oh, okay.
Allie, would it shock you if anything nefarious was on? If anything like nefarious was on Dawn's phone that Tim Mullen has a copy of, would it shock you?
Oh, yeah.
And TBI took everything off of Donald's phone from day one. After...
Yeah, I guess I was confused because he was making it out like there was another phone or something.
Well, I do know that after their phones were taken, they were seen at a phone place here in Kingsport buying new phones. And then someone else had stated, I forgot when it was, that they were at Walmart getting new cell phones too.
It says, can you please ask Allie if she's seen Grandis in the car that day that H was dropped off?
Yeah, Grandis was in the car. She was in the passenger side of the truck.
And they wanted to know if Summer was on one side of the truck or the other, or was she sitting in the middle, like kind of in the middle?
She was on the driver's side of the truck.
Boom. There you go. She said she was on the driver's side of the truck. The driver's side behind Candace by the driver's door, which puts H in the middle. It puts H in the middle. After Warriors Park, H was sitting in the middle. They had Summer up against the door, the driver's side door behind Candace. They had her propped against that door.
Leaning up against the 2 gallons of milk.
Yeah,
Okay.
that don't make sense to me.
Allie, was
Yes.
Summer wearing the outfit, the pink top and the gray shorts when you? And that makes sense. That makes sense. They were using those 2 jugs of milk. They were using that milk from the. That might have been why they stopped at the store. They might have not have wanted to get a bag of ice. They, because that would have been like, whoa, you're buying ice for why? So what milk is cold too. They were looking for something cold. obviously to put her on. And it was the milk. Saw her?
She was in a pair of pants and a long sleeve shirt.
Okay. Now listen, and if you said she was on the driver's side, but when the picture was taken, I believe she was on the passenger side.
No, that was the driver's side.
Are you sure that's the driver's
So
side?
the milk was in the middle?
No, it was on the one side or the other. Let me I think I do got a picture. Let me just Allie's going off memory. She's going off memory as I was talking to her. She was with Chris M, she was going off the picture. With me, she was going off memory. She got out there to that truck before H had gotten out of it. Reassure myself, because I could have swore she was behind Grandis's seat. But she could have been behind Candace's. That could be my bad.
Yes, Grandis was in the truck when they dropped Summer off. Yes.
It says if Summer was on the driver's side, why would the milk be on the other side and she was moved in the photo?
That's what I'm checking right now.
Yeah.
Because I know when they pulled up. I know when they pulled up in front of the house. She was on the driver's side.
And then somebody just
And then you had the
120
milk.
acres said no, she is on the passenger side.
Then Lex Luthor said, "Is the video the same from the milk jug photo?" Because Candace is saying, "Richard, don't do that."
I'm pretty sure this is the passenger side of the car. Yes, because the other side would have been the driver.
Well, wait a minute.
Is she not in the middle?
Yeah, she looks in the middle.
Let me go back. Was she like this?
She looks like she's in the middle, like there's 3 seats. You see the cloth? How it's like 1, 2, 3.
Is that the way that you seen her?
That's the way she was, but I could have sworn she was on the driver's side.
Yeah, that's because she was. That's because she was. That's because she was. I'm going to show you. Here's what happened that day. H was in the middle, not Summer. Summer was they had the windows rolled up, and Summer had her propped against that driver's side door over there with cold milk, and that was I think that was to kind of hide her, and H was in the middle where, because he could be seen. He's in the middle. Summer's on the driver's door, propped up, not awake at all. Now, I don't know if she was still with us or she wasn't, but they had her propped up over there. She was not awake, propped up over there. I'm pretty sure of that. Now, here is what went down. This is the way that H says I was holding the milk. I was holding the milk. But I don't think he was. I think it was over on the other side. But here's what I think happened. H put the milk over to the other side of him now, because they did have it over here with Summer before. He put it on the other side. Now watch what happens. H moves Summer. He moves her across him because they had her propped against the door. He moves her, puts her there, see? And then he exited the vehicle. He exited the vehicle. He knew that she wasn't awake, and she didn't wake up when he moved her. So that tells me she might have not have been with us anymore.
Exactly. Because if he would have had to, okay, if she was by that door, then he would have had to pick her up, touch her. And he said over on Andrews that in when he was up on the panel, he said she was breathing and alive, something like that. But I mean, so
Hey, Pam. Pam,
yeah,
can you take over for 1 second?
yeah. So so if he moved her, then he knew what her body was doing before he got out of the truck, right, chat? And I understand we can't I mean, this is furthermore, I feel like there's more crimes in this than just one. I feel there's more people involved. I feel Allie knew more than she was saying. I know that Hunter, we know that Hunter knows more. But far as this, and you're saying the seatbelt, who fastened the seatbelt? He didn't say, I fastened her up in the seatbelt. So who fastened her in the seatbelt? And also, when he puts her over there, he would know what her body was feeling like, cold, warm, whatever. And he would have he never said how she got the seatbelt on.
The point being is, Allie got to the vehicle. This is the way, when Allie got down to the vehicle, this is what Allie seen. Was Hunter taking the milk and getting ready to move it to the other side so he could move Summer to get out of the vehicle. They had her propped, like Allie said, she was propped on the milk behind the passenger seat, and then it got moved. Hunter moved it, and he moved her, and he knew she was not awake. Why lie? Why lie about it? Because this is exactly how it went down for him to get out of the vehicle. This is exactly how it went down.
That means he would have had to undo the seatbelt that she had on.
No, I don't think she had one on at that time. I do not think she had one on at that time. I think it was put on her. It was put on her once she was moved over against the milk to hold her in. That was to hold her in because they put that belt on her to hold her in. He was holding her. He was able to balance her and hold her up until when he was getting out, they needed to fasten her in because that's what they called, dead weight. That's what they call dead weight. And you have to somehow keep it propped. You see, you have to be able, you got to stabilize it because if they turn a corner or hit a bump, she's going to hit the floor, right? So they had to stabilize her. That seatbelt was put on her after he moved her across him and to stabilize her once he got out. That's what I believe. That's what I believe happened.
Okay. Look at the way the milk jugs are. Now, if you hit your brakes, where's that milk jug gonna go? On the floor?
No, because what you don't understand is look how they propped it. They propped it in order to keep her torso and her head, to keep her upper body cool. And they seat belted her against it, which is going to hold it in place. That milk wasn't going nowhere, and neither was she.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, the boss
I
says
mean,
and
you can
everything.
look how tight that seatbelt is. They didn't want her moving. That seatbelt has been really drawed across her waist. It has really been drawed across her waist. Just saying.
Yeah, and if you notice in the truck, if them were old Skittles, they would have stained the seat. Right?
So, not necessarily.
So they wasn't old. I almost bet they bought them Skittles.
And not only that, Pam, but if you take a look at the seat, they're black. You can't tell if that seat's stained unless you got in the vehicle and really looked. You couldn't tell that kind of stuff anyway. Right? You're not going to be able to tell that. Unless you really, really got in there and looked at it, with fresh eyes. This is a picture. They take pictures of vehicles all the time, right? They put them out here for people to view them. They got the outside of the car, the inside of the car, and you say, wow, that looks really nice. That's not a bad looking vehicle. And you go to the car lot, right? You go pull up on the car lot and you say, hey, I want to see this vehicle that you got. I seen pictures of it. I want to see it. So, hey, Cindy, I got to see you if you want to come up.
So when did the orange cup get there? Because Hunter would have had to be sitting on it. If he was sitting where it's sitting now.
Okay, girl, I see you.
You know what I mean, PG?
Hey, Cindy, how's it going?
When did the orange cup come in? Because Hunter would have been sitting on it.
It's going good. How are you?
How are you?
Did you want to say something, Cindy?
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
Oh yeah, I can hear you, sweetie.
Okay. I wanted to say something because you when you brought up the milk jugs and stuff.
Right.
I don't I'm not sure if you watched Jose's interview with Chris in regards to some of the things he was telling Chris. And one of in the interview he did with Chris,
Right.
and I know Jose and the rest of them from New York came down at a different time frame, 6 months before Summer went missing.
Exactly.
But when you listen to Jose's interview with Chris, there's a lot of strange things in there as well. Jose mentioned to Chris about when he got picked when they came down from New York and met up with
Candace and Grandis
and Allison.
Right.
So Chris asked Jose about a seating arrangement.
Right.
And Jose gave Chris a seating arrangement. The arrangement was him in the back. And this was in Grandis' truck again. And this was a totally different time. Jose told Chris in the back seat of Grandis' truck, it was him on the passenger side. Next to him was Hunter. Hunter was playing with his phone. Next to Hunter was Summer leaned up on Hunter. And I got the impression that she was leaned up on Hunter like she was leaned up on the milk. Then next to Summer was Allison's youngest daughter, where the Skittles are. Where the Skittles are. Up front, Jose said it was Candace Stratton, Grandis, and Allison. Now, I don't believe all three could fit up front, but it was strange. And I was looking at the way Chris was really into what Jose was saying in regards to that. Because if you think about it, it's the same people that was around June 15th in regards to in regards to in regards to who all was in the truck. In my opinion, I believe it was more than just Hunter, and I don't think Grandis was in that truck. I think Grandis may have got dropped off at the hospital, like it was said, but I think I think Allison was in that truck at one point, and I think just I I think just as Jose was given that seating arrangement, it was very strange. Again, no boys was there at that time either.
Right.
And the I'm just point out the similarities, and I believe Jose was there more than just what they said before the 6 months before Summer went missing. Hello.
I agree. I agree.
And there's a lot of other things in that interview. When you listen to Jose, when he said the time that they from New York to Tennessee, Jose said they made it there at 7:30 that morning, not the morning of June 15th. He's telling, even though he's saying it's a different time frame,
Right.
but they got there at 7:30 that morning.
Right.
Remember, Candace took Grandis to the hospital around that time.
Right.
Around that time. So to me, I think if you go back to that interview with Jose,
There
things,
is a lot of similarities.
yes,
This is true.
it's a whole lot of similarities.
Mm-hmm.
And Jose also mentioned that when they unloaded that truck at the storage, Jose said they went to the storage as soon as they got to Tennessee, to Kingsport. They went
Right.
straight to the storage. He said they had to wait an hour for the storage unit to open. And I checked to see what storage units were around. There's a storage unit on Moreland Drive called Mall or something like that opened at 8:30.
Right.
And I remember Candace telling um, Chris at the water hole that she had to take care of some business on Moreland Drive. And that just made me think, okay, is could that be the actual day that June the 15th versus what Jose is trying to give? Because he didn't have any he didn't he also had a lot of holes in his story as well when he was interviewed with Chris, and a lot of
Yeah. I thought so. I thought so too. I thought that Jose could have given more information. Had he not, had he not been coerced in certain areas. Um, you know, I don't know why. I mean, not. I'm not saying all creators. You know, um, not all creators will, you know, intervene and shut a person down. Um, that's why I like Dolly. I like Dolly because Dolly doesn't try to tell anyone what to say or not to say. Dolly's like, just let them talk, right? Let them go.
yes,
And that's what you have to do if you want the information for these missing kids.
yeah,
You should not ever say, you should not ever filter someone, um, you know, on what to say, what not to say, because now that is lost information. They're not going to, they're not going to give you this information later. Once you shut a person down, once you tell someone, oh, don't say that, or now you put fear in them, Now you got them on their toes. Now you're not going to get the information that you could have if you just let them, let them blow off, say whatever, because we need that, right? We need
Yes, I
every
agree.
inch of the information. We cannot afford to, I think some creators think that, I'll shut them down here, get the information later. No, you just lost it. And
Yeah.
probably a whole lot more because, you weren't smart enough to just let them say whatever and, and let it roll.
I
You know,
I
don't
completely.
don't act like you're protecting people. Don't act like you're protecting people because, you know, um, it's not going to make them. It's not going to make them want to be around you any more or any less.
I
Matter of fact, all you're doing is putting them on alert and running them off, if nothing else.
Yes, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to point out just a couple more things to you in regards to Jose's interview. Um, also, Chris had asked Jose. Chris had talked to Jose in regards to the ride from um, Gloversville to Kingsport, from Gloversville, New York to Kingsport, and Jose had mentioned that he was locked in the back of the moving truck. He couldn't remember if it was a Penske truck or if it was a U-Haul truck, but he said he was locked in the back with a couch.
Right? He said it
And
was hot as hell in there.
yes, yes. And and I was like, why would he be locked in the back of the truck, with a
Right.
couch? Then I started to remember that, he had mentioned about the couch that was in the door in the basement in the door to keep, I guess, Summer from getting out. He
Right.
had said, and I'm thinking like, what if he is giving the information the in reverse versus saying that that's how he came down when that might been how he went back up to New York and came down at a later time, because to me I don't feel like Jose was grieving or depressed because of a divorce. I think something traumatic happened in regards to something he knew. I think it was in regards to Summer, to be um, honest. I think
I do find it funny. I do find it funny that Jose, as soon as they figured out where he was, because I think Jose still be here. Had This is my personal opinion.
hmm
I think he still be here with us had he not surfaced and people didn't learn where he was. Because it's funny, as soon as they found out where he was, he's gone.
yes,
Um, I also find it funny that um, the one the one young lady's boyfriend ends up face down in some water as well. That Marlena Crawford's boyfriend
Mm.
um,
oh yeah,
ends up, the way he did. And there was another young girl, if you remember, she was trying to save a child around Summer's age. She's trying to get it to the grandparents, and they got her for kidnapping. When she seen what kind of atmosphere it was in, she knew something, and
Right,
she
and a
was trying to
tester.
get that child to safety, and ended up getting in trouble for trying to do a good thing. Um, and then she also was on live, and then Cotton becomes on live along with Leslie, along with Allie now. It just, it seems like people that could be holding some vital information are just being took out of this case altogether,
Well,
and
you
and
got
not
Rick
in a good way.
Crawford and you got Jerry McLean. They were
Right.
connected to Don Wells because Don went over and told Rick
Oh yeah,
Crawford,
and Jerry too, right?
yeah, because Jerry
Right.
was a co-worker with Don.
Exactly.
Now, Rick Crawford, he told Rick Crawford something about the resurrection. I'll see her in the resurrection. And Dawn told Fred the same thing.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Because
Right.
Laura told me.
Well,
that
I find it funny also that Fred went into jail, and we almost lost him as well. I mean,
Exactly.
it's God keeping him going, right?
Right.
It's just none of this sounds right. None of this sounds right. And you can get, if you know people, which Donald and them would know plenty of people in jail because they're in there all the time. If you know people inside, you can get stuff done. You can get stuff done in there if you know the right people.
Oh, yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. I just wanted to mention one other thing in regards to the Jose interview. Um, when I Jose also was on another channel in regards to talking about Summer. I can't think of what the channel is. I don't even know if I'm allowed to even mention the the channel if it's okay to
Oh,
mention.
go ahead. Go ahead. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay. It was I want to say it, hopefully it'll come back to me the guy's channel, but I can't remember his name right now. Um, but Jose was on an interview with him, and
Oh, you're talking about Justice for All?
yes, that's exactly him.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Yeah,
Yes, he is. He is.
Justice had Jose.
Justin got
And
a whole lot of info.
yes, I agree. I agree. And
He
Jose
got
was
a whole lot from Jose.
he did. He did. I agree.
He
And
did wonderful on Jose.
yes, he did. Him and Chris, I believe did wonderful on Jose. But of course, Chris, he's a detective. He's a seasonal detective. So of course he nailed it. But I wanted to say in regards to that interview he did with Justin was Justin asked Jose what he believed may have happened or whatnot. I can't remember word from word, but I do remember Jose mentioning about Summer getting out the house, and Jose said that if Summer would get out the house, Hunter will. If Hunter's there, Hunter will be the first one to run out that door and grab Summer. And Hunter, and he explained Hunter would be the first one to run out the door and grab Summer, and he also said that Hunter told Summer, um, don't do that. You could get hurt. You could get hurt. You can get hurt. We love you. And I just thought about the swim hole, and also Jose mentioned, Summer would laugh when Hunter did that. And I thought about the swim hole scenario that Hunter gave of Summer going under the water. It was almost kind of the same, but
Right.
it was kind of the same. But that made me think if something happened at the on the Wells property because they all also kept saying the Summer would never go past her swing, and I don't know what the connection is with her not going past her swing for all of them to say that, just like how they would say Candace would drink after 5 o'clock. And I just find that kind of strange. Like, I just find it kind of strange. Like, I believe whatever happened on that property, and Hunter may have pulled her from whatever happened. And in my opinion, I believe someone probably was in a vehicle and accidentally, hit her in some kind of way, but not to a point where it's something, blood or all of that, but something happened, and it could even be the refrigerator.
I
Um,
I I kind of I you know when all of this first went down, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. I was thinking that you know Summer didn't go into the basement. She probably came right back out the door. Candace had a bad day, possibly, struck her, and it was the last time, right?
Right.
Or something to that nature. And that, that's probably, how she, now they got to cover it up. But as time went on and more information and more pieces of the puzzle started coming, to light, and we were getting, more view on everything, I started to realize that couldn't have been the case that happened, because everything the puzzle showing, with everything that came to light and what the puzzle, if you put it together, shows, is pre-planned, premeditated. What I'm saying is that day was set up. That day was set up for something to go down. Now, and with what law enforcement has said, absolute no sign of abduction. Like, that's off the table. They're not believing that shit.
No.
And then Pruitt said, with the extra deep dive searches, if she was out there, we would have definitely found, her, if not her, definitely signs that she was there, and she wasn't. So that's pretty much off the table too. And he said that, they don't feel that she was trafficked outside the area. Don't feel she was trafficked outside the area. They feel she still was inside the area somewhere. And from the way he talked, not, unlived. So that kind of throws trafficking in the mix of all of this. Basically, it's saying that what's being believed is that this child was being trafficked. And that makes perfect sense, because the day that Don had her dancing in front of the for sale barrel, and then him and Candace came out of the house, and in the picture you could see that Summer was just like she is on this milk jugs. She was, passed out, right?
Yes.
And Dudley said they carried her out of the house. Passed out like that. Don and Candace get into a vehicle, and they're leaving with just Summer. And the boys are hollering, "Where are you taking Sissy? Where are you taking Sissy?" And they took her off somewhere. Just like that, like she is there, passed out. And it's a very good possibility that Summer was being trafficked. It's a very good possibility that something happened, maybe possible that they felt they couldn't fix, as in they could not explain to doctors or whatever, that would get them put in prison, right?
Yes, that's true.
And it's a very good possibility that they felt, that they were going to have to somehow do away with her, do away with her to save their own asses, for whatever was going down. Now, if you took note, I'm not saying that Hunter did anything. I'm not saying he did anything at all. I'm just calling out facts. When he started to go out into the water on the video, and he wasn't in no hurry, he was casually going out there. He wasn't running to save nobody. That's for damn sure. I got the video, I could show it. He wasn't out to save no one. He was casually heading out there, and the video goes off. And she ends up against the door. This child ends up back in the vehicle like this against the door. And once they get to Hunter's house, as you see, the milk jugs are moved to the side of him, and
And
you
that was Chris too. Remember at
right.
Allison's house trying to figure out, because in my opinion, I felt that Chris thought someone else was in that vehicle, sitting in the
And
back.
as you see, now she's propped up. I believe Hunter. I believe Hunter propped her up like that as he got out of the car. I truly believe this is exactly how it went. You know, as this video shows, he slides her across him and he gets out. I believe that I believe that after the horse pond, this is how Summer ended up. And I think that's why Ronnie Lawson said, ask them why the hell it took them 4 hours to call us. That's what we want to know. So, I'm not saying that the boy did anything, but it's a good possibility. It's a good possibility that Candace may have used this 15-year-old child to do a sinister deed. And Don made sure he was at work in that vehicle. And either way it goes, Candace would have had to take her and pass her off in order to, and she possibly could have met Don over in Jonesboro and passed Summer off to him after the swimming hole, passed Summer off to him. And it's a possibility that, he, had a place already picked out somewhere in that vicinity that he was going to put her. And they did.
Yeah.
And you got Andy B
What you're
saying
saying makes a lot of sense.
You got Andy B saying,
I'm not saying that's that did happen. I'm just saying whatever happened was premeditated, pre-planned, and carried out from Don's actions, from what Donald's actions were. Firing Dudley to have someone to blame it on, driving the other vehicle so it wouldn't be spotted as easy as his truck. Plus, it had extra protection and he was in the area away from the crime scene. It all makes sense.
Yes, and I agree with you. It does make a lot of sense, and I believe it was premeditated too, because that whole morning from 7:30 on sound all pre-planned for Grandis to go to the hospital, and also for Candace to be in that certain area.
And that would explain why Grandis didn't get out of the vehicle to go down to the swimming hole, because she knew something. She knew she couldn't watch what was going to go down.
So
didn't Grandis say at one time that didn't she say at one time that no, it just went my mind. She said that Summer was feeling sick at the water hole. I think she said Summer was feeling sick. But see, at one time, Hunter also says, that they changed her in the clothes at the water hole into the outfit that they changed her at Allie's, right? He said that. And then it goes into, I don't know where this outfit came from.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I do remember him saying that.
No, what Hunter said was that Candace changed her at Allie's house into the swimming suit.
Yeah, that was
as far as being changed at the water hole. I have not heard Hunter speak about any changing at the.
Grandis said that she was changed at the swimming hole.
Candace said that Candace has said that they did not change Summer at Allie's, that Summer was wearing what she was wearing from the house that morning up until they went swimming, and that's when she rechanged her into the school outfit that was in the back of her mother's truck, where they had went to the yard sales and picked it up and was still back there.
Yeah, and also, how would Don
But
know?
you know, here's my thing. Candace was not ever known to redress the kids after swimming. She wasn't ever known to do that. Those kids got in the vehicle wet when they went swimming. They got back out of there. They got in the vehicle the way they was, and they went home and they redressed at home, obviously, or just air dried, whatever. I find it very weird that particular day at the swimming hole, Candace decided to change up her whole routine, that they, the whole routine, because according to Allie, the kids did not ever get changed. There was no dry clothes to put on. They waited till they got home, usually air dried, whatever. And even Candace, who pissed herself on a pillow, would wait to get home and air dry her clothes out at the house. So for her to all of a sudden at that swimming hole clean Summer all up, put new clothes on her, and do all they did does not sound freaking right to me.
I agree.
And how would Don know exactly what she had on when she went missing if he wasn't there? Now, yes, mind you, Candace could have told him. But he says she went missing in the outfit that she was, the first day of school outfit. That was the outfit that she went missing in.
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame that Kathy the friend had a hold of the box. She had a hold of the box that contained practically everything Summer was wearing that day. The jacket, it looked like the top that was under the jacket was in there. And to me, it looked like the swimsuit was in there. It looked like most of the stuff was in that box, even the sundress over the swimsuit. And she didn't take it. She didn't take it in to be DNA'd. And for one, if something went down in that at the swimming hole, even though it doesn't matter, if this is the one thing I know about clothes that are on a person, their last at the end of their, the last clothes a person has on when they are on live. Those clothes, no matter how much you wash them, are still holding some DNA that could be used. Because what happens is that stuff embeds. It embeds, and no matter what you do, you can't wash it out. You just fucking can't. So with that being said, those clothes would have been very, very beneficial to law enforcement had they been able to get their hands on them. But at this point, probably not, due to the fact that, I'm sure they have met up with some powerful cleaning fluids now that could destroy, certain things. I don't know when it comes to the bathing suit, there still could be, the bathing suit could still be holding some answers to what happened that day. Absolutely. It
And
could.
I
It
don't
could.
believe that Kathy, the friend, stole the outfit or the box or whatever. I think Candace left it there thinking it's going to be safe or whatever. And then she went back, or when she was coming back from Arkansas, when they said she stopped at a friend's house, she stopped to get that box. That's because Kathy didn't turn the box in like she said she turned it in. Now, she said she turned it in, and the sheriff, you have to have an ID to get the box, is what Kathy said.
The
But she never turned it in.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you took note, the only thing that wasn't in that box, that wasn't in the box, was the short Summer was wearing. Was the little here. Let me pop it up. Right here. Right here. If you take note, the only thing that wasn't in that box. Now I know the jacket was. I'm sure the top underneath this jacket was in that box because it was white and pink, and that's the one that was in the box. What wasn't in that box was these gray or black shorts Summer's wearing here. These little legging looking pants was not in the box. And I'm going to tell you something. That could be for very good reason. That could be for very good reason. They're not in the box. Because there, when someone is on live, they lose things pretty quickly, and you have to trash the pants. Trust me, you got to trash the pants. You having no choice but to get rid of the pants. You might be able to keep the top, you might be able to keep the socks, but you're going to be trashing. You're going to be trashing the pants for sure. And anyone that's been around, anyone that's been around any length of time and know anything about people becoming online, you know what I'm talking about. You've been there. It is something you will not ever forget. That's all I got to say. And so with that,
I'm sorry. Do you think that outfit was bought the same day, or do you think it was actually in Grandis' truck?
I believe that it was. I believe it was, in the truck. I truly believe it was in the truck. And see, this day was planned. This day was premeditated, pre-planned. I'm sure everything was. I think everything was, planned out perfectly.
Yes, I agree. And I also wanted to point out again to you the timeline of Jose's timeline with Chris interview. I know I said, they came at 7:30 and waited on the storage to open at 8:30. Once they unloaded, Jose said it took them about an hour to unload, which would put it at 9:30, give or take. And Jose said Andrew received a call, or Andrew received a call from Allison, or Andrew called Allison. I can't remember which one. And right after they got done, and Allison said,
Andrew said that day that they came to that, or the day they came to Tennessee, they showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning. They got there at 8 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, they were heading back to New York. Andrew said that out of his own mouth. You can believe him or not, but that's what Andrew said.
Well, that isn't
word, but
that isn't what I heard. What I heard was the reason that, now this is what I was told. The reason that Allie had Jose up at Candace's house instead of taking him to her house was due to the fact that Andrew and them was at her house, and she brought Jose to Candace's house. Um, she liked him. She wanted to be with him, and she brought him to Candace's house so she could. She didn't want to hang around her house with him because Andrew and them were supposedly shacking up at her house until they went back to New York. So that's what I heard.
And
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, he said he was there at 8 o'clock and then went back by 2. They were on their way back in the same truck. But if you go back in the same truck, then you're going to go into the mileage, the mileage.
Well, what ain't making no sense about this is he came down here thinking he had a home to move into. I mean,
yeah,
he wouldn't have found out. It would have took him a while to figure out that the house wasn't available that day. So
you would have figured that out before you left New York.
Exactly. And why would you go to storage first thing versus going to make sure that
right.
you get the keys and
I
all
mean,
of that?
Exactly.
There's so many
Exactly.
holes. There's so many holes. Like even, you're bringing a whole lot of people now.
But
the sister-in-law came along, 2
that
extra people. They came with extra cars.
that has no bearing. That trip had no bearing. I mean, it had nothing to do with June the 15th, 2021, other than the possibility that they could have been part of something, going on down there, as in trafficking. But other than that, it has no bearing on the case.
Well, this is what I was thinking when I listened to Jose's interview a million times, was their story made no sense. And when he was given the timeline, and I know, criminals is not going to tell you all the information up, they're not going to give you the information up front because they're doing criminal stuff. So
I know that Allison lived in a Section 8 housing, but I'm going to tell you something. People in Section 8s, they keep people they're not supposed to all the time. Trust me. I got a lot of girlfriends. I had tons of girlfriends living in Section 8s with kids. And I'm telling you now, yeah, their boyfriends living with them. That's,
I definitely understand what you're saying, and I agree with that. I definitely understand that. But I was bringing up Jose's interview was because of the timeline they gave.
right.
It made no sense. But when you think about his timeline without thinking about the 6 months prior, you'll see what I'm talking about in regards to.
I agree that the two timelines, I see what you're saying. The two timelines are to Jose showing up that day and everything corresponding going down, and then June the 15th, early as they got up and everything going down, kind of, match up,
Yes, because
are like mirrored to one another.
yes,
I understand what you're saying in that aspect.
because when Jose told Chris once Andrew made that phone call, or Allison called Andrew, I can't remember. Allison showed up 30 minutes after that phone call, and I believe that's the phone call that was made. When they're saying Grandis's called to be picked up. I don't think that Grandis called to be picked up. I think that call was Andrew, and also Jose said. Jose said, Allison was like, "Oh, you guys are here now," and when they were talking, and she said, "Okay, we'll be there." And Jose said they got there in 30 minutes. This is Candace, Allison, Hunter, Summer,
Brandis.
and supposedly Grandis. I don't think Grandis was in that truck because I can't see all of them fitting in that truck. And also Allison, youngest daughter.
Right.
So, and then Jose said they were there for 2 to 3 hours at that. They met at the Dollar General, which all of that is right in the same vicinity. Jose said the Dollar General wasn't far from the storage unit they had. The Dollar General is in that same plaza as Priceless, um, as Priceless, the one Candace went to that day. And for them to be there 2 to 3 hours would put it around, I would say, 2 o'clock or so. So that to me, um, just that to me, and a lot of things Jose said when I don't look at the time frame he's trying to give makes more sense to
Well,
me.
the thing is, I understand. I agree with you. I understand. It's strange how the timelines mirror one another. Was Jose trying to say something? I don't know. Because it's kind of like, um, you know, I basically, I basically have, I basically have been, my life, at one point was a cesspool of people like the Wells, right? Like
Yes.
those kind of people, Allison's, Wells, all of these kind of people. At one point, I was right smack dab in the middle of the cesspool, like that. And so when you're in a cesspool like this, you learn how these people operate. You understand everything about them. And, for me, it doesn't, even though the timeline's mirroring, I think a lot of times that timeline could have mirrored because people like that, when something's up, and I mean, I don't know where you come from or what kind of people you've been around,
I'm
but
from New York also.
oh, honey, then you've been around it.
Yes. I've
And
been around a lot of Jose's, a lot of
exactly.
Andrews, and I know
So,
the
so
scams.
you know exactly what I'm talking about. When these people's got something planned, something going to go down, it always mirrors itself, right?
Yes.
It always
Yes.
mirrors itself. So that's not something super crucial because it's just how these people operate, right?
Right.
It's
That's
how they
that's very
operate.
true.
So that's at the standpoint I'm looking at it.
Someone asked in your chat, how do I know about the storage unit? I only know what Jose was telling Chris in regards to the storage that they went to as soon as they got to Kingsport. And I just looked on Google Maps and just looked at the area and saw what storage units were around. And I saw that one on Moreland Drive, which is right there near the Dollar Tree store. It's near everywhere Candace was at in that area,
Exactly.
and it
And
opened at 8:30.
and that's the thing is, um, we need every one of us working together. Like Cindy's doing her homework. She's researching, she's doing, what she can because she loves this child. She wants this child found. She wants it brought home and justice served. And so she's diligently doing all she can do to try to figure out and to help you know find out what happened to this little girl. And that's what these kids out here need. They need, every last one of us is essential to these children. Every last one of us, how we think, you know um bringing our minds together is how we solve problems, how we get the answers to what we need answers to. and that's a great thing. And I'm privileged to have you up here. It's beautiful, to have you on panel, and to know that that you care so much, and you are diligently doing what you can for this child.
Yes, I'm privileged to be up here. I'm honored to be up on your panel because I love your show, and you you know you listen to other people's theories or what they may think or how they may feel of what might have taken place without judgment.
Absolutely not. I I know that God gave each one of us our own mind, bodies, and souls. Um, no human owns any other human on this earth. We're ain't nothing but angels to watch over the younger people and to bring them up to be, something beautiful in this world. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And we don't own our kids. Our kids are their own individual people, and they have a life that they're going to be living one day. And what we're here for is just to guide them down the right path to get to where they want to actually be, and so they'll become a productive human being in the future. Um, I learned very. I don't like anyone. I don't like anyone trying to control me or tell me how to live my life, and I don't want to tell anyone else how to live their life. Absolutely not. I hope I am there for guidance. If someone wants guidance onto a righteous path, a better way to go, and they're seeking that, well, God knows I'll help you find it, and do all I can, to to help you achieve the life that you want in this world, if that's what you're wanting. But I'm not going to intervene or judge anyone, because everyone has a right to feel and think and do how they want to. At the end of all of this, the real judge is God Almighty. If you can lay down at night and know God's okay with you, and you're okay, if you're okay with yourself and you're okay with what God feels about you, you had a good day. That's,
My
my
thing
personal
is,
opinion.
we all see this. We all, and I'm saying we all. I mean, everybody sees different stuff, and I was listening to a couple of channels today.
Well, I'm
You
going to
know,
tell you.
Mr. Andrew said, "Oh, Hunter ain't on a suspect list." That that's because what? Hunter was a minor. They're not gonna. There's not a suspect list that I know of.
Um, Here's my thing.
As a suspect.
Andrew can't say that Hunter ain't on a suspect list, because no one's, Ronnie Lawson said everyone's a suspect.
Exactly.
And not only that, but he can't say that Hunter ain't on a suspect list, because I think it's Hunter's phone they still got and they're not giving back.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. How can he say, "Oh, my son is not a suspect"? My son, man, get over it, Andrew. Take, you ain't nobody. And he's trying to turn everybody, "Oh, well, my son's this, my son's that." Well, where were you when your son needed you? Where were you, Daddy? Come on, just like you were Don. Where were you, daddies?
Um,
You daddies want to sit back and act like Don Wells and Candace. Where were you?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Can
were you? Where is this little girl, Candace and
Yep.
Dawn? We know you know,
Yep.
because you haven't done nothing in over 2 years and so many months. 2 years and 7
8
months.
months as
You
of the
ain't done
15th of
nothing
this
since,
month.
Candace and Dawn. Where? Why?
Yep.
Right?
Can I can I say something also? I, I've 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 served 23 years in the Army CID, Criminal Investigation Division, and I can tell you one thing: the FBI, when the FBI were looking for Jose 8 days or so after Summer went missing, there's a reason why they went looking for Jose. I'm not saying Jose did anything, and I know a lot of people are thinking and saying Jose was not around, but people can come and go, whatever. When it comes to people that's on drugs or that's high into whatever they're into, any criminal activities, they
I
can.
think the reason that they was, and yes, you're right. You'd be surprised at how quick people can blow in and back out. That's the truth. I don't care. I mean, they could be in California today and somewhere else tomorrow and back into California the next day. Absolutely. You know, I mean, these people know how to take the jet planes. But I think the reason they was looking for Jose is because there was two of them. There was another Jose over in Kingsport that also showed up in Arkansas outside the hotel room. I don't know if you're aware of that, but the man standing outside the hotel room in Arkansas, the Wells Hotel room, is the same Jose who lives in Kingsport, which is a different Jose than the Jose that ended up unalived. And me and Justin had some issues for a minute because we wasn't aware that there was two. It was said by Dudley that a Jose was up on the hill the weekend that Summer supposedly came up missing. That wasn't the Jose in California. That was a different Jose, which was in Arkansas outside the hotel door. So see, there was two of them. And that's where a lot of the mix-up has been coming in, because most people don't understand that when it comes to this particular case.
Right. No, I was going off in reference to when I listened to Chris and Jose's
Right.
interview, when Chris asked Jose about the FBI looking for him.
Oh yeah, they was diligently looking for him, but I think that's because Dudley had mentioned Jose being on the hill, and law enforcement like we did thought it was the Jose that we're talking about right now, when it was actually a different Jose, one that was over in Kingsport, which ended up in Arkansas when the Wells were there.
Okay. Because going by that interview with Chris and Jose, and
Right.
the questions that the FBI was asking him, in my opinion, was questions because, of concern of something regarding him and being at 110 Ben Hill Road.
Right.
In my opinion. And
exactly.
That interview was done in March. Jose supposedly died in May of a couple months after that interview with Chris. Now, in my opinion, I think Jose is in witness protection, but that's just my opinion.
There is a death certificate. There is I forget where it is. I forget what creator, but there is a creator that has and Justin probably has it also, has that he is passed. The one that we're talking about, that was not the one in Arkansas, but the one.
Yeah.
The one in.
Yeah. I personally called the funeral home, and yes, Jose did pass away.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm very wrong on that then, and I apologize on that.
Yeah. Cindy, I would like to speak with you behind the scenes. I would
like to speak to you too.
Yeah, I run a Facebook. Sissy is under Sissy Bible.
Okay.
SISSY Bible, Bible, is for Summer. I run a Facebook for her.
Okay.
If you send me a friend request on there, then we could call each other through the chat
Okay.
and you know, kind of talk and bounce some things off each other, you know,
Okay.
on this case, because, you know, I like your thinking.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
And
Justin confirmed today that Allie did pass. What was said about her missing, we don't care about her missing. We just care about Hunter. That was false. They were joked. I don't know what kind of game they're trying to play, but
Right.
Justin confirmed it today that she did pass. Justin confirmed it. He called the
Yes.
funeral.
Yes, he did. And I don't know. I don't understand, you know, Andrew says him and that guy say the darndest things. And, you know, it's just Andrew, right? It's just Andrew. I mean, you know, I thought it was insane, but then again, you don't ever know in today's world, right?
that's
You
true.
don't ever know. I mean, in honesty, and this is real life stuff. When the C word was going on, there was some crazy stuff happening when it came to patients, right? So I don't know. I mean, a lot of things are hard to believe, but sometimes you got to believe it. It
Yeah.
just is what it is.
This
And
case is so hard for everybody because we all want. And I'm going to say it again. I have no sympathy for anybody on that hill because they know. They have to know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even when you listen to Candace's the interview with the news reporter at her house, and listen to some of the things that her and Don said in regards to Summer, and I feel like that's where probably some truth lies with the lies in
right.
that interview, especially when Candace says if she was around, no one would have treated Summer that way. I
Yeah,
can
For
say,
you.
right. You know, Candace, if you go back and you watch the first news interview, Candace sitting out in the yard, that she actually did. Donald had done one right before that, holding on to the boy. But the first interview Candace had actually done, if you take note, you watch, if you know, observe her, if you sit there and observe her and Donald, but mostly Candace, and you know, that's who we're going to focus on right now. If you observe Candace during this interview, you could tell that she was super nervous about what Donald was going to come out of Donald's mouth. She was super nervous. I mean, you could see the fear in her. You could see the fear that this guy might just blow it for her, right? What I'm saying is Donald was more cool and collective because he felt his ass had been covered, you know, with the Starlink and all the BS, and, you know, making sure he's seen some people around his job site that day, at the end of the day. And so, you know, he was feeling, you know, kind of confident in himself, like, you know, I got my ass covered. But, you know, she was on the edge of her seat, you know, with him, because she knew his ass was covered. And, you know, she knew, what I'm saying is, you could tell she knew the role that she had played in all of it.
oh yeah,
In
definitely.
my opinion, that's my opinion, you know, you could just see it. And you could tell how, you know, how On edge she was. She was straight up on the edge of her seat. Her she was coherent as hell. Both of her ears were completely up, listening to his, taking on his every word. And old girl was straight ass nervous, right? She was straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't nervous like I haven't did this before, cameras on me, this or that. It was that, oh my freaking God, beam me up, Scotty, pure freaking guilt nervous, right?
Yes, it was. It definitely was.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like catching a mouse with the cheese.
Mm-hmm. And
when she says got gone and taken and crime scene and
right.
oh, if I go out in the woods,
right, and you could tell, when she's like just gone.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that shit was scripted as hell.
To me, I think when they mentioned she was just gone or got gone, to me it makes me feel as if that's their way of saying she is deceased.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And another thing with Allie, when Allie said she went to the truck and she saw Summer on the milk jugs.
Right.
That she wanted to wake Summer up and give Summer a hug.
Right.
I don't know anybody in their right mind that would want to wake a kid up if there's nothing wrong and they're sleeping.
Allie had her suspicion.
And give a kid a hug.
Right. Allie felt something wasn't right there. And you could tell the strain in her voice. You could tell she wasn't wanting. She was caught in between. It's, this is my opinion. It seems like she might have been caught in between. I want them to go to prison, but I need to save my boy. I wish I could tell on these bitches, but I can't. Right? They used my kid. They got me between a rock and a hard place.
But let me ask you this:
But in the
how do you feel?
Hang on. While she's using her kid, she let her kid go, knowing that her kid, she had to call the police to get her kids from them people, and she still let her son go. Part of that, and I'm not saying it's all.
Hindsight's
that is her accountability.
Hindsight's always better than foresight, Pam. Hindsight's always better than foresight. I mean, people fuck up. Right? That's human nature, man. I'm not going to hold that against nobody because I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you this: if they haven't spoken, and I forgot the time frame, Candace,
about a year, I think.
And it doesn't make sense to me that on June 15th, all of a sudden, they're speaking, they're talking to one another. That part has never made sense to me. And I understand Allison may have been protecting Hunter, but I also feel like Allison knows exactly what happened to Summer. And they all carrying around that knowledge.
I think Allison kind of told us, in her own way, that Summer wasn't with us. When she said, I saw Summer, I saw Summer standing right here on my porch. And she said, I'm home. I think Allison was letting people know Summer's, and I hate to say this, but I was stopped at a red light talking to God one day, praying for Summer, praying that he lets us find her. Please just let us bring her home. And I promise you, and I know the Lord's voice when I hear it, and I heard it. It said she's already home.
Oh,
exactly.
And I had to, that was startling. That was startling to me. And I was like, because at that point you're going to humble yourself, right?
That's
and what in my mind is, I'm going to have to rephrase this, right?
Right.
I'm gonna have to rephrase this, but that's what I heard too. If she's
And
home.
But here's the thing too.
Hunter did walk over Allie. I felt. I mean, I felt like, he did walk. I mean, kids will do whatever they want. They don't want to take no for an answer. But I felt like she wanted to protect him, and again, he didn't really care about, being protected or whatever. He was just king. But
I think he cared. I think he cared about being protected. Trust me. And I think he's still caring. I think he's still
he
caring.
wants people to believe him.
And
there's a
I
difference.
think if you look back on this case, when Leslie came up on a live like Allie, if you take a look back, it's when Hunter went mayhem saying that, a bunch of stuff, right? What am I supposed to do? Just, keep my mouth shut, live with, remember that? Remember
Exactly.
he had that breakdown? Well,
Yes.
if you took note, that's about the time Leslie came up on a live.
And I don't believe
and Hunter was living with her. Hunter was living with her at this time. Now, you take note, Hunter went back to Allie just before Allie became on live. Now, I'm not insinuating nothing, but he goes back to Allie right before she becomes on a live.
And he was connected to Summer.
And what did he do? He stole. It has been confirmed that he did steal her rent money. He was doing things she didn't like. Could she have possibly, like Leslie, couldn't handle the stuff and was going to possibly turn him in or say something? I mean, we don't know, right? We just know two people who he was in close contact with, seemed to meet their demise in the same fashion. It's weird.
That's very true. And my thing is too, is with them not liking Candace, as they say they didn't like her with Leslie. She said she didn't like her or whatnot. I don't understand.
No.
The one that was Leslie that was at the table when Hunter did the interview with Chris, right?
No, somebody in this chat said it wasn't Leslie sick with cancer.
Never heard that.
No, I didn't ever hear that Leslie had any. They said Leslie just dropped out in the
Leslie
blue.
was healthy. She was working at Walmart still.
She just dropped. She just dropped out of nowhere, just the same way as Allie, just dropped out of nowhere. So that's what
Hunter and H is connected. Hunter H, whatever we call him, is connected. He was with Summer and Candace and Grandis that day. Then he was with, he was staying with Leslie, and then he was connected to his mom. I mean, 3 people. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and another thing about this whole situation of when Hunter talked about Candace getting a phone call from Andy, I always wonder if Andy is actually Andrew, his father.
I thought the same thing too.
What are you talking about? The message from Andy?
Saying it's done when Hunter talks about.
I don't think that Hunter was talking about his dad. I think the Andy he was talking about was Andy B. Across the way from Don. Pretty sure that's who they was talking about.
No, I definitely understand. I understand that, but I'm saying, I think, and just in my opinion, that they're not giving us the right details So they're adding people into something that may not actually have anything to do. Like, just say for instance, in order for him to
Well,
remember the
here's
script.
my thing: is Fred Hill said that they came and they showed him pictures of Andy, which is Fred's cousin Andy, which was at the Wells a lot, and is now, since Fred's come out, been hanging around again, making himself present, maybe to try to intimidate some people. I don't know. But
But what I was saying was, I think maybe he was setting Andy up, because just how Don is setting up everybody, pointing fingers at everybody, but also for Hunter to remember, you know, who who's the text message is from, or to say, just in case. I don't know if that was seen by
Hunter
law
knew
enforcement.
Hunter knew Andy across the way. Actually, Andy was one of them, from my understandings. That was, over there. Everybody knew who Andy was because that's where they got their stuff, right? From. And you know how it is when you're a teen. I mean, everywhere where to get the stuff. I mean, if there's anybody, if there's anybody within a fucking 20-mile radius, the hell they are. And so, with that being said, H definitely knew
Yeah,
where
and
that
that's why
message came from. But
I couldn't understand. If he knew Andy, why did he? To me, in my opinion, it seemed like he
because he's
didn't
afraid.
know
He's
Andy.
afraid.
Okay.
He's scared. You be scared too. I'm going to tell you, there's that old, snitches get, so you ain't going to
Snitches end
be
up in ditches.
right.
Right.
And,
Right.
I mean, just think about it. Hunter was with Leslie, okay, for 2
right.
weeks. And
He was with
could've-
Leslie. He was with Leslie longer than that. He was with Leslie for a minute. He was with Leslie. Leslie had custody of Hunter for a minute before that happened to her. And
can you imagine if he thought, okay, if I find some wrong drugs, okay, I can get rid of Allie and go back home, or get rid of Leslie and go back home. Well, that didn't work out for him. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, because Allie was, or Leslie was.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened to Leslie. I just know that Hunter was in the mist when that happened. I know he was in the mist when Allie went down. That's as much as I know. That seems kind of suspicious. I don't know.
Leslie did not like Candace Bly. No way.
It's funny that everything seems to be wrapped around June 15th, 2021. Hunter coming home, getting out of that vehicle, supposedly in the house, shaking, wouldn't come out of a room, having a breakdown at that point, having another one, another breakdown right about the time Leslie, ends up unalived. It just, none of it's making any sense, right? None of it. I mean, it's making sense, but it's making sense that you just don't want to believe, right? The sense is making, you don't want to believe. And, it's hard. The hardest thing in all of this is to believe that so many people could be so sinister. What's hard to believe in all of this is the evil that's surrounding it. And, but I'm here to tell you that evil that evil does exist, folks. That whether you
Exactly.
want
It's
to
on the
believe it or
hill.
you don't, um, you
It's on
know,
the hill.
everybody would like to turn. We all would love to turn a blind eye to evilness. But I'm going to tell you, the only thing that turning a blind eye is going to get you is hurt. That's
Yep.
all it's going to get you. You better have your eyes open to the sinisterness of this world, because there is a lot. I mean, there is some people that are so evil, man, that it would. I'm going to tell you something. Um, I could tell you some stories. I could tell you some stories that are so fucking evil that you wouldn't believe it. You would think I am lying. It's that evil. And that's how evil it is. But you know,
I think people lives up on
people
110
aren't
Benjamin
evil.
Road.
People are evil, and you better keep your eyes open. You better watch, and you better get those people that, if you know they're evil, get them the hell out of your life. I'm going to tell you something about evil. If it'll do it with you, it'll do it to you. Remember that.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. I grew up
And
here
that
in New York
and
City,
that one
and
thing.
I had to learn that at an early age. Everything you just said, I had to learn at an early age that made me able to pick people, um, pick people when I know they're lying or if I know that they're evil. It made me
Right.
sense that because I grew up around a lot of evil
Oh
people,
yeah.
here in the streets of New York City.
I
So,
mean, I I'm gonna tell you, I've been around it. I've been around it so much. The same. I've been around it so much. I promise you, I
hmm
motherfucking see it and I know it. It's like,
yep,
you know, they don't even have to talk to me. All I have to do is see someone, and it's like, you know,
hmm
um, feet don't fail me now. Get
yep,
the hell away from that person.
yep,
I mean, sometimes you'll have a smooth one, but I'm gonna that you don't spot right off. You don't spot
that's
it right off.
true.
But I tell you what, within a few minutes, baby,
It'll
you
it'll
know.
show. Yep,
Yeah,
it'll
the
show.
closer it gets to you, the closer it gets to you, the more you're feeling it.
Yep, I totally
Cindy,
agree
how
with you.
far are you to that one that got burned up in the car that
Which one?
Andrew was talking about?
Which one? That
The Annette something. She was
I'm in Brooklyn. I don't know. Um,
no.
I watched I watched Andrew channel here and there, but I'm not familiar with someone getting burned in the car.
I think Justin did a live on her before.
Is that dealing with Summer's case or is that
No,
someone totally different?
that was in New York though. I was just
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about that one.
I just think Andrew is just even with his brother, and I was told that
Um,
those that Aircon Andrew
they tried to connect that, but it didn't connect. That New York thing, no, that was no connection to
well, I
Summer's
didn't
case.
say it was connected to Summer.
Yeah, there was no connection to Summer's case on that. Absolutely not.
Oh, I didn't say it was connected.
Right.
I just I just said the people that I mean it's you got Aircon's bio dad now lives in Tennessee.
Um, what?
Huh?
What'd you say about a bio dad?
Aircon bio dad lives in Tennessee. Andrew's big
Um,
brother.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people. I mean, look at Andrew. He had Allie and Hunter and them living in Tennessee, which was directly, you know, into this case. So there's a lot of people. No matter where we live, it don't mean we have. It
Oh,
doesn't
I'm not
mean
saying it. I'm just saying his,
right.
and he does them little art things that make you sick, and that's just
What do
it's
you mean are
disgusting.
things that make you sick?
PG, you ain't seen his live. You ain't watched his channel. Arizona
Yeah,
has a channel.
I've seen that what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Pam. That's Pam.
Pam. Okay.
Um.
Yeah, it's
Well,
where he
I'm
said
surprised
June
you don't know
15th
Pam,
class,
Cindy.
and there's a little Ziploc bag, and he says, June 15th, 2020, and he laughs about it, and looks like there's blood on a Ziploc bag. Yeah, that's disgusting to me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's that's the idiot that I'm talking about, and he told on another channel that was his art that he did.
Right. Yes, some. I'm going to tell you, some people are into dark art. They're into dark art. I mean, it just is what it is. And she comes from New York. She knows that kind of stuff don't bother us. Right? It's
Exactly. Now, I have lived upstate New York, not too far from where Andrew Gloversville is. And if you know Gloversville, you know Gloversville is not the best place on earth. And there's a lot of drug addicts in Gloversville. A lot.
I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of them everywhere. I
Yep.
mean, like, oh my God, everywhere you turn, it's like this world really has somehow caught a lot of people up in that type of evilness. How, I don't know.
And
But
that's, I'm sorry.
It's like for every one person that don't affiliate themselves with some type of substance, a million do. That's what it feels like.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And this is the thing for me why I keep going back on that trip from Gloversville to Kingsport. In my opinion, I strongly believe that was no trip to get a house in Kingsport. It didn't make sense. And to drive all the way from Gloversville with that many people, a few vehicles didn't make
Mm-hmm.
sense, and come back with nothing.
Right.
That made no sense.
That it didn't make sense. And to get a storage that quick, it sounds like that storage was waiting.
Yes, that's what I
You
said
asked
too.
me. Yeah, it seemed like it
That's
was
what I said
waiting.
too.
And I think I agree. I agree with you. There was a lot more to that. There was a lot more to that than's being said.
Yes, and that's the thing too. That's why I don't believe that was the only trip ever made. I believe there was multiple trips made before
Or maybe even
before
after.
Summer went missing and after, and during, maybe even during Summer going missing. Because to me, I feel that's not, if they're trafficking whatever they're trafficking, it wasn't a one-time thing.
No. Absolutely not. If that's the way you make your money, then with after Summer come up missing and with the heat on the way it is, I would say they might trip somewhere else, but not into Tennessee, due to the fact that this is too much heat. But I think I have to agree with you. I think there was more than the one. If you know,
Yes.
that's my
And,
personal belief too.
And
It
and
I
was
that's
think
what I
more
that
than
believe. And the thing
that
is too,
day,
that couch that's missing from that Jose was talking about from that door. When you go back to listen to that interview with Chris and Jose talks about having a couch in the in the um in the storage truck, not storage truck, I'm sorry, in the moving truck. And like I said, he didn't
right,
remember if it was a Penske or U-Haul.
right.
I don't understand how they had all this furniture or so-called furniture to put in a storage and not load it back up to go back to New York. And why would they
Um, I
unload
don't
the
think
stuff?
I'm with you. You're not going. You're not. You know, you're not going to unload everything and reload it in one day. That's stupid.
Exactly. And then the thing is, when Jose talks about that couch that he was locked in the back with, makes me wonder if that's the couch that was
At the
is that
door.
the blue couch? Yes, that was at the door.
I
Because
don't think so. I don't think so because he stayed with the Wells. He stayed up there damn near. I say anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. He was on that hill, and he was hanging in that basement with that sofa. And when he left there, that sofa was still there, keeping the door locked. So I don't think it would be the same sofa. I think, you know, I'm not saying. I mean, they had to throw something in that Penske truck in case they got pulled over. Um, and not only that, but you know, if you're packing a load of stuff, what better place to put it than fill up the inside of a sofa with it, right?
right,
Whether you're bringing it, whether you're bringing it down or you're taking it back. I mean that furniture isn't nothing but decoy, and compartments to pull out whatever you're packing.
right, and I completely agree and understand what you're saying. But my thought on that was, if what if they were there during June? That, for me, I believe something happened before June 15th, and June 15th was
Uh,
the alibi.
I don't think so because Summer was seen. She was seen on surveillance, um, at different at, at at the Walgreens for sure when they dropped the first prescription off. She was also seen, I believe, at the hospital on surveillance when they were moving the stuff around for Hunter to get in the car. So, with that being said, she was spotted. Um,
I
whatever
do.
happened to her happened. Whatever happened to her had to have happened on June the 15th for sure.
I do remember Chris mentioning um, the drive-through at the
Right.
Walgreens being seen on the camera
Absolutely.
there. But
Mhm.
also I feel, what if that was the youngest son that they had instead of Summer? Or what if they had Summer propped up? It's not going to show any physical movement of hers. You know what I mean? Versus versus
And
so the cameras can say, "Oh, she had movement. She was alive. We saw her walking. We saw her talking." I mean, I can see a camera getting her in the car, and a lot of those cameras are not like HD.
right, but they also was their surveillance of her out in the water swimming, and they know that was taken, that particular video was taken that day. There,
Okay.
so there was, there. I just find, I I just find it weird that I have to listen to law enforcement. And when Ronnie says, "Why did you wait 4 hours to call law enforcement?" That would rewind us back to the video where she's on the milk jugs in the back of the seat of the car, which leads me to believe they believe she wasn't with us any longer in that particular video. Therefore, whatever went down would have had to went down. If that's the truth, whatever went down would have had to went down at the swimming hole. You know, I'm not, and if indeed something went down at the swimming hole, then it had to have been already put into motion, pre-planned and everything, because Donald was already, you know, setting it all up, as in firing his co-worker, driving a different vehicle. I mean, his actions, Don Wells' actions showed that whatever happened to his daughter was premeditated, pre-planned, and carried out.
Yeah, because they had all them dreams, remember? I mean, you know.
And no, he didn't have a dream. He didn't have a dream. He had an angel talk to him while he was wide awake. From what?
And then Andy D said,
right.
You know, his ended up being a dream.
Right.
When he said, you know, about the body.
Right. Exactly.
But, you know, this is my thing too, with that whole morning starting off with Grandis is going to the ER. That's why I felt like something was already happening, because none of it made sense from the get-go. And
right.
Even with Hunter and Allison talking to Candace since a year, I think Pam said, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, none of that makes sense.
Actually,
you asked Don about a knee brace, he couldn't tell you nothing. He's never seen one.
Candace and Allie had it out over Jose. The whole thing for them was over Jose. And Allie just really didn't want anything else to do. You know, she didn't want nothing else to do with Candace, but she tried to act cordial towards the Wells for the kids' sake, you know, for all the kids' sake. I mean, I think Allie realized that, you know, it wasn't just all Candace's fault. I mean, if, you know, it was Jose as well. And, you know, what I'm saying is, that's like, you know, you catch your husband and you want to blame it all on the woman. Well, no, you know, what I'm saying, you know, if it wasn't for him, what I'm saying is, if he didn't want to be there, he wouldn't have been. So you got to put the blame on the man too. And I think, you know, Allie was really upset and everything, but, you know, we always have the real, our subconscious mind always has the real truth, right? And regardless to how much we want to dislike someone, we know we can't fully do that because it takes two to tango, right? It takes two to tango. And I think that's why Allie hadn't completely severed everything when it came to, you know, Candace coming around or anything like that. And I think also Allie kind of liked Grandis. You know, she couldn't hold anything against Grandis. And she didn't, you know, I don't think she wanted to really sever all ties due to, you know, there were some people in there she couldn't blame. And she just made a mistake. She if, you know, Allie really should have, you know, when she had to send the police up there to get her kids, she should have right then and there told Candace not to ever come back around. If I catch you anywhere near me, my children, my home, I will put charges on you. We are not friends. Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't nothing. Matter of fact, with people like that, you should change everybody's number, your number, your children's number, and, you know, and let them know that this ain't going to happen.
Exactly.
Right. And I completely understand what you're saying, but I just can't get past the fact if I haven't spoken to someone in a year and on a certain day where something is happening, why are they being why are they connecting on that day? And not only that, at the
What day?
once
What day are you talking about? Because I haven't
on
ever.
on June
When
15th.
she said,
June
On
when
no, I'm
Allie
15th.
saying
said,
what
when Allie
and
said,
the,
what she's talking about is when Allie said that she hasn't spoken to Candace in about a year or so.
yes, that's exactly. And this is another thing. Once they reported Summer missing, it was strange to me how all of them had an alibi. Allison went with Leslie to the ballpark. Um, Hunter went with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's
Well,
family.
she had to go to the ballpark because her daughter was a cheerleader and they had a game there, so she had to be there.
Right, but
Um,
what I'm saying is the time frame they reported Summer missing, when everybody had their own alibis, ways to go to be surprised when they reported Summer
well,
missing.
well, wait. Well,
And then she calls Hunter first thing after reporting.
Hunter, that I do find that suspicious. That you know that, and that might be why they got his phone. It's because Candace was hitting up Hunter more than she was Allison, and as if she was trying to keep Hunter on a leash. That could be why they got his phone, is to show that.
Hmm.
I'm not for sure, but that's what I wanted to do over the next few days is dig into this more, um, because it seems to be a lot more information, a lot more you know stuff surfacing. And as we've seen tonight, you know we're coming to understand more things about June 15th, before from the swimming hole now, up to when they're supposed to arrive home. So with that being said, you know I think that there's a lot more to all of this. We just got to keep moving forward, and we got to keep moving forward, collecting the data and making what we already got more solid as to where did Summer um become become either unlived or trafficked, because that's the two things it seems like, the main two things that it seems like happened on June 15th, 2021, right? Allegedly.
Right.
So, you know, that's the thing that we want to try to pin down. And over the next few days, that's what we're trying to do here. And hopefully we can kind of try to figure out more for her sake over the next few days. But I'm going to have to get out of here for tonight, because there's a lot of us have to be up. We have to work. We have to, cook, clean, and do a whole lot of other things on each one of our days, which is, you know, a hell of a lot to get done in one day. Right? I know it is
Definitely.
for me. I know I'm working from home right now, but I'm going to tell you, It's working from home is, I don't think it's easier than the office because it lets you, it lets you be able to get some dinner going and stuff and so forth and so on. But it also, at the office, you take your breaks, you actually get coffee and sit down and stuff like that. But at home, you're sweeping floors, wiping up things, and it's like almost like you don't get a break, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, it was nice talking to you all, Cindy. It was nice talking to you.
Hey,
You're very
Pam, good talking
credible.
to you, girl. Good talking to you. I'm
glad we got, some things accomplished. I mean,
I think a lot of things
it's
tonight,
like
girl.
PG always said, we're here to agree or disagree.
Amen.
And at
Amen.
the end of the night, we're all going to hug it out and come back tomorrow.
That's right. That's
the
right.
phrase PG always uses. We're going to hug it out and come back.
Amen. Absolutely.
So,
Thank you
it
so
was
much
nice
for letting me
talking to
come up
everyone.
on your.
I will. Hey, Cindy, it was a pleasure having you, girl. I appreciate it. I hope you come back.
I definitely will. I watch you faithfully, so I definitely will be back.
And I definitely make sure you friend request me on Summer's Facebook, and I'd like to spend some time behind the scenes.
Okay, yes, I definitely will. I definitely will.
All right, girl. I appreciate you
thank
being
you.
up here. God bless. Much love.
God bless you too.
Hey, it was a pleasure having her up here tonight. I appreciate her coming up. Yes, definitely. God bless. Love is Scorpio. I appreciate that. Thanks, Cindy. Amen. Thanks again, Cindy. Absolutely. She's a sweetheart. And very, very updated on everything as well. And that's what we need. That's what we need right there. God bless. God bless. Listen, everybody, I'm going to head out of here. Please, I don't ever leave here without asking for you to pray for Summer. Please, please, please keep the prayers going up for this baby from our lips to God's ears. In the name of Jesus Christ, let us pray that this baby is found. Let 2024, God, be the year for Summer to get justice in all of this. Let this be the year that this little girl finds peace and closure, and her brothers find closure, and God, let us all find closure as well. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Let us pray for this baby, everybody. It just takes a minute to fold your hands, bow your head, and send up a prayer as I have just done. Pray for one another as well. Please pray for one another. Everybody needs prayer. Let God know that you pray for everybody, not somebody in this world. Because when we get to heaven, we're going to be with everybody, not somebody. So let us learn to pray for everyone. In the name of Jesus, amen. God bless. Much love. Good night, everybody.